Alright gang, welcome to another edition, a live stream of Reiser's Treasure Hunting Emporium. And just want to take a minute to say hello to everybody. Hello Ben, I see the giant Garrett Detectorist. Canadian Relic Hunters, hello. Yeoman GAW, how are you? Mike Wolf. Digging Canuck, how are you? Rob Stewart, how are you? Oh, there's Metal Detecting Yorkshire, how are you? Dirt 30 with George, how are you? And Rob Random, please send some dinner my way. And anyway, it sure looked good. Anyway, gang, we've got, there's Lincoln. Hey, Lincoln, how are you? Emergency vehicles, trains, and aircrafts, etc. How are you? And there's K Watt, how are you? There's Jim and D Melbourne, how are you? And Dirt Monkey, how are you? And I think years of having my headphones up too loud has finally caught up with me. I can't hear. I know what you mean, Dirt. And who's your hillbilly? How are you? And see who else we got here. Everybody's kind of scroll on. Hey, Tim Holmes. Thank you so much for your comment on the video. And I have to say, yes, that smell could indeed be hydraulic fluid. Excellent call. And see who else we got going on here. This is like watching a silent movie. Yorkshire's commenting about the opening. Yes, without the pingy piano. Anyway, well, if you watch this channel long enough, a pingy piano is lurking about somewhere. And there's part-time detector Amy. How are you? So glad to hear that you're back out of the woods. And bears. Do they have bears in Georgia? I don't know, but anyway, gang, you see who else we got here going on? Mary Love. How are you, Mary? And who else? We got Judy Earl. Howdy. And see who else we got? Rob wants to know what that whiny noise is. Well, Amy Winehouse has unfortunately passed, so it's not her. And could be Dolly Parton. She's still alive. And who else we got going on? Flash in your pan, how are you? The Real Fire Demon? Alright, gang. Well, we're going to try to get back down here. Welcome, one and all. And like I said, we are already about to start another edition of Reiser's Treasure Hunting Emporium's live stream. And so here we go. Good as time as any, I believe. Now, for you guys, this may be weird. I actually had this screen flip-flopped back around again. I'm sorry, K-Watt. But I got some stuff to show on this cam, so in order for it to read correctly, I had to flip it back around. So don't worry, that part's not messed up anyway. Oh, you know what? You guys probably want to see what the giveaway is for tonight, and we'll get that up there. There it is. That is a 20 franc note, and that'll be tonight's giveaway. Now, I have to admit, I've had this for quite some time. This was a box lot of notes and coins and other good stuff, and I decided to part with this for only one reason, because I want one in better condition. I think the artwork on this is absolutely phenomenal. And but anyway, I'm going to pass this one on to you folks, and in the meantime, I'm going to search for a better one. But anyway, like I said, I think the artwork on this is absolutely gorgeous. But anyway, gang, that will be given away a little bit later. What's that guy looking at? Ooh, it's that way. Look that way. What's he looking at? Anyway, so anyway, gang, yes, it is actually a very, very nice note. Anyway, gang, earlier in the week, I believe I was talking to Who's Your Hillbilly, and I was thinking about getting one of those backpack water things, and for when metal detecting, I can carry the water with me, maybe even freeze it like the night before, and that way in the summertime, I can carry around the water with me, and won't be as parched, stay hydrated, because here in the Northeast, it has been gosh awful hot with a capital P. And anyway, it was like one of those things. Now they're reasonably priced. They're not going to break the bank. Roughly for $20, it looks like you could have one that's halfway decent, and a water camel, or a camel hump, or something like that. Anyway, they call it a hydration pack. I kind of like calling it a camel myself, or a camel hump. That's probably the slang for it, but I find the slang to be extremely funny, and would rather call it that than a hydration pack. But anyway, gang, so yeah, I'm really thinking about that, because here, like I say, here in the Northeast, it has been gosh awful hot. And so yeah, do check those out. I just hope you can freeze them, because that would be wonderful to have that thing slung back there when it's 95 degrees, and as you're wearing it, metal detecting the field or woods, have it melt as you go along, and sip on it every now and again. But anyway, gang. So yeah, that's kind of the idea for right now. But anyway, gang, let's catch who else came in. Hey, Mike, how are you? Treasure Hunting SWPA, how are you? How are you? Harry K's Adventure, how are you? And see if anybody else kind of cruised right on in. But anyway, gang, again, welcome to Reiser's Treasure Hunting Emporium's live stream. Now, this is the only live stream on the internet this evening where you'll see a dinosaur and a crazed maid robot and Reiser all on the same screen. And gang, there's no mirrors, no tricks, but we do have a plethora of gimmicks. And as you guys will see later on tonight, a plethora of gimmicks. And here at Reiser's Treasure Hunting Emporium, we have joined the throngs of sticker makers, and but with a twist. And our stickers just aren't going to be merely stickers. I just can't do anything normal or the usual way. We always have to do something slightly kind of off. And yes. Anyway, so that will be more on that much, much later. So, anyway, gang, tonight we got our usual. We got the weekend recap, a very short treasure story, and of course the viewer appreciation giveaway, and it's that 20 franc down there. And again, like I say, the artwork on that is very, very impressive. But anyway, gang, so with that, as always, be nice to Rosie. You know how that cranky bucket of bolts can get. And that will be towards the end of the stream for the giveaway. And also, too, gang, there will be an afterglow tonight. At the end of the normal stream, there will be a 10-minute intermission. So get your snacks, hit the loo. That's for my friends across the city there. And put out the dog. Then come back for some casual banter and chit-chat. It's a good time with good people. You good people. And anyway, gang. Well, this past weekend, it was hot. Hot with a capital F. And but we did manage to squeeze out a little beach hunt, some bay combing, and found this. This is a mid to late 18th century clay tobacco pipe. Now, it was quite exciting, even though to have this broken bit. It's a piece of a bowl, but to have the broken bits that included the maker's mark, and thus with the maker's mark, we're able to date it and even establish its origin of manufacture. I tell you, this is oh so exciting to me. And there will be more on this in an upcoming video. In fact, this upcoming Monday's video. Not yesterday, but this upcoming Monday. And I tell you what, just to give a little bit, the age of this bowl of the pipe is actually quite exciting. But also, too, there's a British connection to it. And as far as its point of manufacture. But anyway, gang, there will be more on that why this upcoming Monday. So do stay tuned and around for that. But anyway, gang, Saturday, I got out for a bit, but was thwarted again by heat and bugs. But I did squeeze in a little recon. And with this recon, I have, well, let me just tell you, the property looks promising. I just have to get permission. Permission shouldn't be a problem because I kind of know the guy. But at the same time, I probably haven't talked to him in probably about a decade or so. But I can't really imagine that there would be a problem, but I just have to actually do the actual asking. I'm not going to just go and go, but again, like I say, this property actually looks highly promising. So, but anyway, so also then Sunday, at one point we hit 99 degrees. And we had a stifling humidity, and we basically would hunt for about 30 minutes, then recon or sit in the air in the car, and then again, relay, get back out there and, hunt for about another half an hour, and then go back to the car with the air conditioning, and so it was kind of really a lot of touch and go. It was just so hot. It was hot with a capital Q. But anyway, gang, also on Sunday, tuned into Coffee with Liz, Digging Canuck, and called for a Where's Reiser segment. And there we exhibited a new piece to the Metal Detector Museum, a Fisher's M70. Very futuristic looking with the sleek molded plastic lines, and Liz was right. That armrest does not look quite comfortable. It's wire, it's metal, it's wire, and it's just I don't know. But so anyway, gang, the detectors for the museum are growing in quantity. And I don't know if I have a picture of the World War One example that I'm kind of really hunting around for. Let's see. There you go. There's one from, this is either just prior to World War One or World War One. How would you like to go metal detecting with that thing? That looks like that's supposed to be looking for landmines. I wonder how many landmines were set off by using that detector. Holy cow, that thing looks awkward. And can you imagine walking around the beach with that thing? But anyway, gang. So that's the kind of stuff kind of really looking for the museum. And slowly but surely we are kind of accumulating them here and there. And I tell you what. Anyway, gang, we're going to go ahead and take those off of the screen, and I'm going to catch up with chat. And, hey, yes, Jay, how are you? And 606, how are you? And, let's see, who's your hillbilly? The humidity has been brutal lately. I love being drenched at 7:30 in the morning. I tell you. You have to hunt the water in this heat. Yeah, yeoman, that's actually the plan for this upcoming weekend. As much as I can.
Me, I'm staying home in the air conditioning. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . .
But anyway, gang. So we are hopping to a different couple of channels this past weekend and beginning of this week. And I made my usual stops while I was at Mantic Coins on Saturday. They're on every Saturday, by the way, at 5:30 for some coin roll hunts. Okay, you got me. I stopped in for their addicting game they have in chat. And yeah, I just can't quite. Yeah, flip coin and just if you have the chance, do check out the Mantics. You'll find the games and the conversation. Okay, great time. And then popped in over to Ken Peavy's for some Coin Jeopardy on Friday. And then Sunday, also at Ken Peavy's, while I was there at 9:30, every 9:30, I should say at 9:30 every Sunday. Why, Ken has the big show. And I tell you what a great time. I tell you what, the Jeopardy was great, but by God, you got to have some quick fingers. People were answering in just lightning speed. And I was clattering away as fast as I could on that small phone. And just, yeah, anyway, maybe next time I'm going to try my computer. I'm going to try the laptop watching Ken. See if I can, because I can actually probably type faster on the keyboard versus yeah. But anyway, gang. And then the big show, why, I tell you what, Ken is crafty. He comes up with some of the greatest devices for his giveaways. You know, sometimes he sneaks in little pieces of paper, you know, with letters that you have to kind of decipher at the end of the show, you know, what the little letters spell and rearrange them, etc. And, or in the case of this past Sunday's show, the world's best trivia question. What does the Morse code symbols around the Canadian 1944 nickel say? What a wonderful question. And that's actually the picture of the Canadian nickel with the Morse code around it. What a phenomenal, fantastic question. And I tell you what, who would have known? But anyway, gang, that's just the stuff you got to look for on Ken's show. Great question. Tricky, that guy, I tell you. And let's see, where else did we stop? We stopped at M.A. Lyman 24s with his Coinstar streak. The Coinstar Bandit. And did see a video from Part-Time Detector. We had a toilet episode. And also, too, Giant Garrett Detector. Well, I had his musical quiz going on. And I got you 606. Oh, I tell you, I was having to be the right place at the right time when that message just happened to come on. In fact, I think I was just getting done over at Ken's and was going to sign off for the evening, and then bing, got the notification that Ben had posted a video. So I had to jump on there. Anyway, also too, checked out Coin Op. I believe his name is Robert Lawson. That's another informative coin show. And more. Anyway, I think my my watch later list is hovering right around 140. So see who else. SDZX. Anisha posted a video in front of a cell tower, joking that not knowing what the interference was for his metal detector. And since commenting on his joke, I did ask him about the chain set. He said that it landed back in the States about a week ago. So maybe, just maybe, it will resurface. Great fun, that chain set. And gang, since kind of talking about that chain set, it's a great tool, for building camaraderie amongst the tubers. And, well, guess what, gang? We are going to start a second one. That's right, a second one, to kind of run parallel with the first one. However, the second one may have a little twist, a blasted gimmick. But that's how we roll here at Reiser's Treasure Hunting Emporium. That's right, gimmick this, gimmick that. We are going to keep the gimmicks rolling. But do stay tuned for that. And I can't speak for others, just for myself. But I tell you what, I've met some great people through that device. People I wasn't consciously aware of, or the YouTube random pick suggestions, whatever, they never tossed them my way. And there's one for you, CT Relic Digger. There's a guy that I'd never got thrown and tossed from, and he actually was one of the recipients of the chain set. And I'm thankful for it because, yeah, I've been pretty much a steady viewer of his since he's got it. And I did watch one of his videos this past weekend. Neat little pendant, but I was more impressed with the little Dodge emblem that he found. So if you guys haven't checked that video out, do check. Of course, I like the car stuff. So anyway, gang. Before we continue on, let's see what else we got. Once again, I wouldn't expect anything less from a Reiser. Oh no, that could be bad. Let's see. I need a reason to string together a bunch of meaningless obscenities, Mike. Uh-oh. Are we back to talking about Amy Winehouse? No.
No, we stabbed ourselves in the hand today.
Oh, ow. Oh, just trying to get out of work again, are you? No, I can't. SWPA, did you make 1,000 subs? Is that my little message going on here? If you did, congratulations. If not, we will definitely try to get you there.
Okay, Hoosier said, I put a number 2 Phillips about halfway through my left index finger today. That's what we were all talking about.
Oh my, wow. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, Z squared, how are you? And, did you make the 1,000? Or?
Yeah.
Ah, you made the 1,000. Congratulations, Treasure Hunting SWPA. Yes, many, many congratulations.
Made the 1,000 and didn't even know it.
Mississippi Bottle Digs, how are you? How are you? And, anyway, gang. All right, well, going on. Well, you guys probably haven't noticed yet. I have this thing for advertising. I love old advertising, especially advertising from the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, and really getting into this thing where companies were branding things. Not branding like, branding in the cattle. That would hurt. But we're talking about, basically companies that would take a specific item and just slap their company's logo on it and call it theirs, even though if that item did not match that company's previous products. And we'll be seeing more and more of that. We actually still see that today quite a bit. And it kind of goes along with, stickers and merchandise, and now anything that we have related to this topic that's going to be ongoing for probably, a month or so. None of this merchandise you have to buy. In fact, it will be given away. That's right, given away. But anyway, back to branding. So during the 1960s and 70s, America went through this trend. And it's a trend, again, like I said, very much alive today. Branding and rebranding, and since it has placed the consumer on their laurels to be brand specific, to at times to be conscious of what brand they are buying to ensure quality. And when in fact, sometimes, if you think about it, that's not the case. In some cases, the product may have a different label and somehow maybe a different price or higher price, but it's actually the same old thing as the previous product. There's actually no difference whatsoever except for the brand. You're paying a higher price for the other label or the name or etc. So anyway, gang, what's kind of make that a lot of interesting thing is basically this. Different companies would take products like, we'll say Ford Motor Company. Ford Motor Company would have their own individual toilet paper. you know, and that kind of stuff. And it was always weird that, you know, you can't go to the bathroom properly unless you have, you know, a roll of Ford Motor Company toilet paper. And we see that a lot today. Actually, no, Dr. Pepper tried it there for a little while with a Dr. Pepper barbecue sauce. And I think back in the early 70s, United Airlines, I believe, or TWA, one of those actually had their own brand of products. You know, you were just only supposed to fly the plane, but yet you also were supposed to buy the product they had offers. Anyway, crazy stuff like that. And it still goes on today. So anyway, gang, Reiser's Treasure Hunting Emporium, being what we are, felt left out. And so basically, Reiser's Treasure Hunting Emporium is not only going to be giving away stickers, but will be rebranding. That's right, our own very products. Rebranding a very different, did I mention different, assortment of items to be given away as tokens of viewer appreciation. After all, Reiser's Treasure Hunting Emporium must stay with the trend of rebranding, but we must do it in our very own unique, perhaps carnival, with a touch of bizarre. And so anyway, gang, so tonight we have the first product. It is our very own Reiser's Treasure Hunting Emporium toothbrush, or better known as a relic brush. So anyway, gang, I mean it, you just cannot clean a relic as thoroughly as you could with just any old brush, but you actually have to have the Reiser's Treasure Hunting Emporium's relic brush. And this utensil is actually multifunctional. Yes, gang, that's right, multifunctional. Not only can you brush your teeth with it, but you can also clean relics with it. And gang, it's up to you. Yes, that's right, the user, whether or not you want to use it for both. Yes, that's right, use it for brushing your teeth and also too for cleaning your relics. Or be out there one day cleaning your relics and then brushing your teeth, but it gets a little gritty. Anyway, gang, I tell you what, by the way, the jokes from here just get completely worse. I didn't start off with the product I wanted to initially start with because I thought we'd kind of lead up to it. But yes, the products get worse. But
that they do.
Anyway, gang, so that will also be given away tonight with the Frank. And also, too, I will throw in a regular sticker. That way, it's just not, you know, you won't be having a toothbrush forever that says Reiser's Treasure. Although you'd have to think about me every morning. Then you'll be throwing up toothpaste all over. Oh, anyway. Anyway, gang, we'll try and catch up with chat. I want that toothbrush, Fire Demon said. And that's Ford Paper 60. I could brush my hair with it.
My response to that was what hair?
John Wayne toilet paper. Rough. All right, that's it. I got a screenshot that. Here, bear with me. 2 seconds. Ben, if that was original, I applaud you. That was some kind of wonderful. Sweet. Who made your logo, Charlie? I did.
Babe, can you answer Tim Holmes? It says, what is the date of the...
Frank?
I guess that's what it says.
I tell you what, we'll take a closer look at it just before we do the giveaway. I actually don't know off the top of my head, but we'll take a closer look before the giveaway. And yes, you always so now Rosie's not only giving away a relic cleaner, also the Frank, and also a stick. I tell you what, Rosie will be busy tonight. Wiping with Chevrolet paper sounds appropriate. We can tell who's favoring different what card. Give me Rosie, and oh my goodness. Hoogie's Hobby Shop, how are you? Reiser's toilet paper. Oh, Yorkshire. No spoilers, please. No spoilers. You're close to one of the products, but not that. And Ford toilet paper. Does it break down in the middle of using it, or Jordan Anderson? If I didn't say hello now, and yeah, thank you for commenting. And Dr. Pepper made toilet paper. No, Dr. Pepper made barbecue sauce, and it actually absolutely did not sell. And I was actually reading about different companies who've been around and who tinkered with different products and whatnot. Liz, I actually thought of Junior. I never realized the company of Nintendo has been around since I think it was the 1890s, and they tinkered around with so many different products and whatnot. So they eventually got into toys. I mean, they went into food. They went into all kinds of different directions, but they did eventually wind up with toys, and then eventually into the video games. I thought, wow, I never realized that company was that old. But anyway, gang. All right, back. Oh, Metal, you technically. How are you, Kevin?
You want to give Rosie kisses, Mike? Go right ahead. It could be shocking.
Rosie makes me want. Oh my god. But anyway, gang. Tonight's treasure story is a short treasure story. Short. But it comes from the pages of Western Eastern Treasures magazine, page 10. And or it also comes from upi.com. Now, with anything that I do, I try to find a multitude of different sources for this story. And I have to say, even though I'm going to include it in the live stream, this story, I cannot find a confirming source. And I don't like that. But we're going to give you the story for what it is, because it's kind of fantastic. I hope, like anything, it's true. And it's actually a story I'm going to save, because I do want to. There's a little bit of a follow-up to this. And anyway, gang, this edition of, by the way, the Western Eastern Treasure magazine is the August 2018 issue. And we'll talk more about that. There's also an article about buttons in this issue that is. But anyway, yeah, check it out. But the button article's on page 40. But I tell you what, the button article, top notch. Anyway, gang, back to the treasure story. You guys ready for this title? This title is what really caught my eye and really got me searching the internet and searching all kinds of different stories. And everybody's heard this story by now, so I wouldn't be surprised if you guys have heard this story as well. But here we go. Ready? Airport janitor might keep $325 million in gold bars found in trash. Now that there is a headline and a half. $325 million in gold bars. Anyway, here we go. A janitor who found $325 million worth of gold bars in a garbage bin at a South Korean airport might be allowed to keep the precious metal, police said. The 7 gold bars were found April 26th in a trash can at Incheon Airport in Seoul. The bars, which were wrapped in newspaper, are believed to belong to a Korean man who has not come forward to claim them, police said. Investigators said the gold bars are believed to have been ditched by 2 men who were transporting the bullion from Hong Kong to Japan. The men are believed to have abandoned the gold because they were worried about being searched by customs. Police said the owner must come forward to claim the gold, or else the $325 million worth of precious metal will become property of the janitor who found it under the country's finders keepers law. The janitor would still receive 5 to 20% of the gold's value if the owner comes forward, police said. The worker will not be able to claim any of the gold or money, however, if it turns out to have been linked to criminal activities. But there you go, gang. Very, very short treasure story. $325 million. And even if it says he could receive between 5 and 20%, if the owner comes forward. Even at 10%, that's $32 million. I think the janitor will no longer be a janitor. And I tell you what, after finding it, I think I would have been to an attorney. It's like, okay, I have an interest in $325 million. You, Mr. Attorney, I want this taken off my hands, sell my rights to it for $50 million. You can only be rich so much before it just becomes absolutely... But anyway, gang. But yeah, gang, this is out of the, well, this month's Western Eastern Treasure magazine. And I saved my page for the button article. Useful bits in that. And the very first thing I do is, I know it sounds horrible, I went and fact-checked his button dates. And yeah, he's got the Reiser seal of approval. It's written by a guy by the name of Daniel Herrero. 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 Anyway, if any of you guys happen to know him, say, hey, you know what? Reiser likes your article. But, and also, too, gang, what else we got here? Oh, also, too, we got the calendar of events. And with the calendar of events, October the 6th in Long Branch, New Jersey, they have the 27th Annual Open Beach Treasure Hunt, sponsored by Deep Search Metal Detecting Club. And it's going to be held at 7 Presidents Oceanfront Park. And there's 4 big hunts for gold, silver, jewelry, coins, and other prizes. Admissions include coffee, and in the morning, and a lunch. And for more information, contact Donna Funk at moondoggycoffee.com. And now becomes the question of, will Reiser be present? And, well, I'm waiting for a response, because I actually just emailed her, I believe, either this morning or yesterday, and I haven't gotten a response back yet. But I'm just may be in attendance. I think it'd be a whole lot of fun, and that will actually be Columbus Day weekend, and that's actually far enough out where we could possibly commit. So we're thinking about it. So anyway, gang, if you happen to be in that area, do give me a shout. That may even convince me to go. But anyway, gang. Let's see who else we got going on here. Oh, Tails Coin Dragon flips a coin and loses. Yeah, that's about right. I tell you what, last Mantic show, oh my goodness, the bot was on crack. Anyway, see what else we got going on. Let's see. Yorkshire, I couldn't believe how quiet you are, Charlie. Then, yeah, realized my volume was down. Yeah, it must have been. Oh, got people playing flip coin on the.
I'm just telling everybody they're addicts.
Wait, no Wednesday. Is she coming on tonight, or is she coming on? Mrs. Mantix does Wednesdays now, but she's not doing on the Independence Day. She said she was either coming on tonight or Thursday. I haven't seen anything since, so I don't know when. But yeah, she's be coming on, turning on the games, and yeah, gang. So check out Middle of the Week Mantix. Mid Mantix. There you go. That's what we should call it. In fact, I'm going to start a Rosie Hates Me Club, a free membership. I'll buy a t-shirt, Yorkshire. I mean, yes, I think that'd be a big seller. But
Drum Detect wants you to show the cover of that magazine.
Yeah, sure, absolutely, Drum Detect.
And Dirt 30 says she's going on Thursday.
Oh, great, thank you.
Hi, Ken. Western
Eastern Treasure magazine, and any of your local bigger news agencies should still be carrying it. They also have one special edition once a year. You know, they're like gold and silver edition. And so anyway, gang. But for October, only time will tell.
Did you read what Yorkshire wrote?
Wait, it says, the big tick in the bottom of the right corner look like they don't like Charlie. I thought he was enamored of me. Are you kidding? He's kind of got that kind of eye there, and it just kind of made me kind of suspicious there. Well, that's all right, Ken. Hey, KP, it's all right to be tardy. You are the professor, after all, and yeah. So, coin drag, for whatever reason, Lockport is having our fireworks tonight. It's to keep you guys awake. There's no sleeping in Lockport. It just. All right, gang. All right, here we go. So, anyway, I forgot where we were. I kind of lost my place, and things are just whipping loose. And but Western Eastern Treasure magazine, you know, it's been around for years and years and years and years, and it's kind of like, I don't know, it's the old standby. And I'm not saying it's better than any of the other magazines or not. It's just another magazine. And but anyway, gang. So back to the giveaway, and tonight's giveaway, we've got the right there, the Frank, and here I'll actually show you the reverse. I don't know if the cam probably doesn't really pick it up well at all, and so put him back. I'll actually pull up the reverse. And there's the other side of the note, and like I said, the artwork is absolutely phenomenal on it. I mean, it's just very, very, very nice. But anyway, gang, so we'll be giving away that, and also too giving away a puny Reiser's Treasure Hunting, and I just banged into the camera. Reiser's Treasure Hunting Emporium sticker, because everybody seems to be sticker crazy right now. So there's Rosie, and then too, gang, we mustn't forget the official Reiser's Treasure Hunting Emporium toothbrush, or better known as the Relic Cleaner. So we will be giving that away. So anyway, gang, it's about that time to where everybody should be starting to butter up Rosie, and because we'll be giving away those almost now, and we'll go ahead and we'll get Rosie set up there. Let's see if we can actually do this somewhat fluidly. Oh, I gotta move my chat. All right, gang. Well, here we go. We are going to move right along to the Rosie's internal guts. And here we go. So you just want to make sure you get something in chat so Rosie actually sees that you guys are there. And so anyway, gang. Says, I got some machine oil for you, Rosie. Yes, Rosie, go with love. Rosie, I want you. Wow, Lincoln. And North Jersey. Hey, North Jersey Detector, how are you? And so anyway, gang, everybody's included, including the mods. And make sure we get this all set up and squared away. And shows that I've got 24 eligible users at the moment. So if you guys haven't said anything in chat, be sure to get in there and say something to chat. Rosie hates me, says Mississippi Bottle Dig. And come on, Rosie. They cannot hate you, Rosie. Oh, there's Yorkshire. Rosie is the one, says Drum Detect. And Rosie, I'll upgrade you to LEDs and a digital form. Wow, 606. That is really, really kissing some robot butt right there. And anyway, gang. All right, here we go. We are going to go ahead and start the countdown. You guys ready? Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bang. There we got it. We got Coin Dragon. Congratulations to Coin Dragon. You just won the tonight's giveaway. Anyway, Coin Dragon, go ahead and send me an email giving me your address. And hey, by the way, you do have to be 18 years or older, or with your parents' permission. So, but anyway, we'll get this thing turned back around. Congratulations to Coin Dragon. Got for this evening. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will be back every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Why, just stay right there. Well, don't stay right there. You know, go get a snack and come back, because we'll have a 10-minute intermission, and then we'll come back and we'll see you then. And by the way, somebody, please, somebody out there, please, bring some donuts. Donuts would be nice. Anyway, gang, if anybody chooses to stay, we'll see you there in a few minutes. Just stay right on this channel, okay? All right, gang, hang on. We'll see you in a bit. Alright, gang, here we are with the Afterglow. Hi. And something weird just happened with the chat. The weird thing is it says too far away. Can't see it. Anyway, gang, hey, thanks for everybody who hung around. And this part of the show is just basically our metal detecting chit chat, history chat, that type of stuff. So, anyway, welcome. And I can't help myself. I'm sick with this. Uh-oh. What is Ken? Oh, Ken's coin licking still. And if you accidentally swallow a coin and it goes through, does it become like any less? I don't know. It'll probably come back from the graders as improperly cleaned. But tequila. Uh-oh, tequila. Tequila is good to get where you want to go fast. But anyway, I got a beer in my fridge. You can have it. Been there for 5 years. You know, Ben, Ken, rather, 1 year, we went all out. We bought two. That's right, 2 6-packs of beer and a bottle of vodka. And now, mind you, we have older kids, but it sat there after New Year's. Bought it for New Year's, and it sat there for probably until next New Year's when we didn't touch it either. So we gave it to the kids. You know, knock yourselves out. But yeah, Sandy and I don't really drink all that much. Great. Hey, Rivendell, how are you? Details improperly.
Yeah, I caught that. That's like the first thing I seen when I picked up my phone.
You know, details improperly. Yeah, okay.
Hi, Rivendell.
There's K Watt. K Watt, how far is Plano, Texas from you? And
you just want Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, I've kind of swore off soda again. Soda is the evil thing, but Dr. Pepper is actually one of my favorites, and I've always wanted Dr. Pepper with real sugar. And they still make it, but you have to buy it pretty close there to the manufacturing plant, where they still put it in bottles. And I don't drink much anymore. I'm craving tequila though. But anyway, Charlie, where was that beach hunt? That beach hunt was the one in Monday's video was just on the other side of Cape May, New Jersey, and on the give you even a little more hint on the ferry side. If Reef, I couldn't remember for a second his name. If Reef is happened to be watching, he actually was commenting on it. And he was almost dead on the spot, which lets me know that he recognized the area. Wonderful spot, especially when there's a blowout tide, and there's a lot of flats in there. And I would imagine that the seafarers back in the day always got hung up at those flats. But do I hear an elk call? I don't think so. Oh, you know what? You might have heard 606. We have our door from the living room to the kitchen. Is on one of those swing hinges. You know, it pops back and forth. That's probably what you heard.
It does kind of sound like an elk call.
Yeah, now that I think about it. There's a soda store in Daytona. They sell every brand of soda they can get their hands on. I tell you what. You know what? As a kid, I used to hate Dr. Pepper. And then something happened in my 30s. It just went complete the other way. Yeah. Dr. Pepper is like crack for me. Drumming Detect. Love Cape May. I tell you what, the Victorian architecture and whatnot of Cape May. Oh, boy. But, you know, what's kind of lost in that is they're all about preserving the Victorian era there in Cape May. When the area itself goes far back. I mean, it's probably... I was going to rate it, but I won't say that. But it does go back to the 1600s. And... of course, in the 1600s, they were more on industry, fishing and etc., than they were about tourism. Even though we do have reports of some of our founding fathers going to the shore. But of course, they weren't driving across New Jersey to get to the shore. They were taking a boat around the Delaware to the seaside, especially during the yellow fever epidemic in the 1790s, 80s, and 90s. I used to hate pork chops. When I was older, I realized it was not the pork chops; it was the way.
606. I'm glad you're not doing my laundry.
606. Being a guy, it all goes together. Just stick the temperature, on warm, cold if you want. It all can go together.
Hi, George.
George, how are you? And hey,
That's
Mike.
right, Mike. Bacon, the other white meat.
Bacon. Oh my goodness. Some of the best bacon I've ever had in my life was made over a campfire. And this bacon was not your store bacon. It was actually sliced by a butcher. And he sliced it. See, I don't like overly thick bacon, but I like thick bacon. And it was some kind of wonderful.
I think we should do bacon wrapped stuffed pork chops.
Bacon wrapped stuffed pork chops. Yes, indeed. That's what you did the last time, wasn't it?
I didn't wrap them.
Oh, that's right. We did have those, something similar to that, pre-made by the Amish folks, and they were some kind of awesome. See, I think you watch it all together. I had that theory back in college. It gets wet, it gets soap on it. It just let her go. Mike, I used to. I got tired of my socks turning pink. But who really looks at your socks? If you guys, besides pink socks, isn't that the trend among kids today? I ought to start a bacon video channel. Ken, it would go viral. Everything bacon. And then you could market your own brand of bacon, and then be like the what's the people that send you meat in the styrofoam chests?
I don't know what's out there on the fridge.
Yeah, I don't remember. But you got those people where you can order online. Omaha Steaks. You can get they'll send you a cooler with yeah. So you could do that with bacon, and then have a channel devoted to bacon. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Bacon wrapped in bacon, stuffed with bacon.
Absolutely.
No, they slaughter and smoke the pig right before your eyes. I'm still okay with that. I mean, there's some animal groups that may object, but I got pointy teeth. I'm a carnivore, and yeah, I eat meat.
Ken Peavy, professor of bacon.
And then we will see you in the card. Donuts. Oh my goodness. But I tell you,
Judy Young.
I've only been to one pig roast in all my years, and I tell you what, that was an interesting sight to watch. I didn't so much care for the party going on, but I kind of camped out there where they had the whole pig, roasting, doing its thing. That was actually highly entertaining to watch, and smelled. Oh my goodness, did it smell good? People said it. What is the book value on that bacon? And I wouldn't want a 1793 bacon. It just doesn't sound too appealing. People will tune in to watch bacon cooking. Yes, absolutely. Kind of reminds me, Red Skelton used to have a pantomime where he would imitate bacon frying. That would always crack me up. 24 hours of bacon sizzling.
That would be an awesome ASMR video.
Yes. Just at Christmas time they got the Yule log on the fire, or you can switch over to Ken's and watch bacon frying.
Canadian relic hunter says that's it. I'm buying bacon tomorrow.
Years ago, I used to be friends with some restaurant folk, and going into their kitchen and seeing like the mounds of bacon, you know, like the mile-high stacks of bacon. I just wanted to steal all the, yeah. I told the air hostess I am veggie and didn't want bacon sandwiches. She says that's ba.com.
Bacon scented candles don't actually smell as good as you think, Mike.
No, yeah, we've been there and done that. That just didn't, no. Yeah. How about deodorant? Bacon scented deodorant.
Bacon chapstick isn't all that good either.
Of course, wait a minute. The more you sweat, the more you smell like bacon. That could be bad if you're in a neighborhood with a lot of dogs.
Honey, we're decorating the Christmas tree this year with bacon.
Hang bacon. Mike Wolf, my wife sent me to our local grocery store. Wait a minute. Should I continue reading anything that Mike Wolf is reading? He's, oh my goodness. You ever read what he has for dinner?
It's safe to read the rest of it.
Okay, my wife sent me to our local grocery store to get a sack of potatoes, and they had a power outage. The entire store had no power since 11:30 this morning. The air conditioner blew the transformer.
Think of all that melted ice cream and pies and anything frozen.
Ah, boy. Hey, there's a big sale in the freezer department tomorrow.
Ken says bacon scented women's deodorant. No more single women.
They put bacon deodorant on and walk through the SPCA and drive all the animals wild. Jordan, they make bacon ice cream?
Mm-hmm.
That almost sounds scary. You know, chocolate and ice cream, that goes together, but bacon and ice cream, I don't know. BLT anyone? Yes.
Please, Mike?
Yes. She wears bacon perfume. New by Estee Lauder.
Yorkshire says I had chicken and bacon pie tonight.
Okay. Babe, I think we'll have to get you some bacon perfume.
No. Mike Woe says my dinners are awesome. No, I don't run out as a chef. Judy says everything is better with bacon.
Mike, any more? When you start going on about what you're making for dinner, I have to mentally just block it out. I can't read it. I tell you what, one night you absolutely drove me nuts. I don't know what channel or what stream we were watching together. And I don't, even now, this has been some time ago, I don't remember what it was that you were making. But, oh my goodness, it was very wrong to be that hungry at like 10:30 at night. But, oh, Ken, if you don't mind me giving you a compliment, sir, if you're still here, I don't know if you were here when I did give the channel a shout out. I loved that trivia question on the big show, just like you don't know. I thought that was the world's best trivia question. And, yeah, kind of built around the show. I tell you what, wonderful, wonderful trivia question. Bacon toothpicks.
That sounds good. Or bacon dental floss.
Well, actually,
people would floss more.
I don't know about you guys, right? But how do you guys like your bacon? Me, I like it almost burnt. I like it. All right, I do like it burnt.
Ken says he's here. He was looking in the fridge for the bacon.
Ah, yeah, Ken. I tell you what, that was a fantastic trivia question on Sunday's show. Which question? The Canadian nickel, and what was the Morse code around the... Oh, what a great question. Metal detecting Yorkshire, Lady Gaga's bacon outfit.
Welcome back, Jersey History Hunters.
Jersey History Hunters. Hey, I still got one of your videos on my watch later list. You guys were at the flea market. Oh, yeah. I really want to know
what... That sounds really good, Mike.
I really want to know which flea market you guys were at. I know you guys are north of me. If you guys are anywhere near Trenton, Have you ever been to the Golden Nugget flea market along River Road? Wow, is that a wonderful flea market. I haven't been to Columbus either for years, so I can't really... Not since they had the fire, anyway. We win when we work willingly. What a great, great, great trivia question. You know, I thought that show was probably one of your best shows, believe it or not. Not for the prizes, but for how it was constructed. You know, it was Canada Day and etc. And then I just liked it all the way through the end. That and I actually, you know what? You kept this old guy awake for the entire thing. Usually when we get towards that 3/4 of the way through mark, this old guy starts nodding a little. But no, it stayed awake for the whole thing. River Road where? River Road in north of Trenton, but south of Lambertville.
They went to Englishtown.
Oh, Englishtown.
They like Columbus.
I've never been to Englishtown. I think we have to make it a point to go.
Honey.
What?
You've never been to Englishtown?
I've never been to Englishtown. Not for the car shows or anything.
I guess we're going to have to go.
I like Columbus. Columbus used to be really, really wonderful on Thursdays. I believe Thursdays was the antique day.
And you don't have to share, Mike.
I'll bring home the bacon and I fry it up in a pan and I just eat it. I like mine burnt. Burnt. Not burnt, but pretty close to burnt. Not black burnt, but dark brown burnt. Want to know about subs? Look up Groton, Connecticut. Oh, Tim
Like bacon, he don't have to cook.
I tell you what, that was wonderful. Thank you so much for your comment on the. That's exactly what that smell was. Hydraulic fluid. Mm-hmm. Wow, you nailed it. Are you a former Navy guy, Tim? That's only the second sub I've ever been in my life. The first one was in Baltimore Harbor. I don't know if that one's still there or not. K1, how's my favorite Tinkerbell, Hoosier? I like mine out of the wrapper. Canadian relic hunters. Does that mean you also eat raw bacon?
Judy says, "Oh, Charlie, you have to go to Englishtown."
Just made a pot of coffee. I'm back now. Mississippi bottle digs. At some point, I would like to send you an email because I would like to buy a walking stick from you, but I have a specific design thing for the bottom of it. I actually want two ends of it, but I'll send you an email. I love your work.
Bacon sushi. Tim says he worked making subs for 43 years. No, wait. Are you talking about in a deli or submarine?
I think Tim means submarine.
I know, honey. I'm being silly.
Tim, I'm amazed at how compact everything is, and I tell you what, the men in the armed services who are on the subs, Navy, why, I tell you what, that you have to go into it mentally prepared, I guess, because to be me, I have aquaphobia. She's got claustrophobia, so yeah, both of us would be going nuts after the thing submerged. But I tell you what, 72 people. That's just the enlisted men. 72 people on that sub. I tell you what, there had to have been between fights, or you had to have something where you're getting along. If morale was low, I imagine that was the most uncomfortable place on the planet. Hey, don't. Well, I tell you what, Mike. Here's my idea. Oh, I'm going to screenshot that.
Don't have to.
Oh, Sandy was nice enough to write it down for me. I'll tell you, just to give it a little bit. See, I'm still kind of a field walker, even though I carry a machine. Sometimes I like to walk the field first before taking my metal detector out. and just getting along in years, and bending down sometimes. Well, anyway, so yes, Amy, this is the afterglow, and this could be the afterglow. But anyway, Mississippi, my idea is to have one end like a normal end walking stick, and on the other end to have almost like a spoon feature to where I can flip like rocks or shell or whatever's down there without having to bend over and pick it up. So I can just kind of flip stuff as I go along. But I'll send you more about that.
Hoosier says the only phobia I have is bacon shortage phobia.
Surface the sub, toss a couple of guys over the side, no moral problem, I guarantee. Yeah, you know what? There were some great submarine movies too. Let's see, Operation Petticoat with Cary Grant, I think, was one. The one with Burt Lancaster and my goodness, what was that one? Oh my goodness, it had Burt Lancaster in it, and I think it had guy with the skinny mustache from Gone with the Wind. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Run Silent, Run Deep. That was another good submarine movie. Drumming Tech, just take the spoon to the stick. Yeah, I know, but that's not quite enough.
Are you talking about Cary Grant, huh?
No, I was talking about Clark Gable. That's who I couldn't think of. See, she just needed to kick it back in gear for me. But that's called a litter picker.
Think so.
Think so. There was some other great. Cary Grant had an earlier submarine movie. Now I think about it, back in the 30s. It was either the late 30s or early 40s. Operation Tokyo, and how I could pull that out of my head and not anyway. But yeah, Operation Tokyo. That was an okay submarine movie. Red October. That was that was a good one. But I tell you what, I just can't imagine spending that much time on one of those subs. Oh my god. And the engines. Oh my goodness, the noise alone had been deafening. But the abyss. Oh, the 571 is here. You can go on. Tim Holmes, if you're still from Connecticut. Oh, Mike, you're from Connecticut. I tell you what, I used to love driving up and down. Let me think for a second. Is that Route 1 or Route 9 that follows the coast of Connecticut? It goes through New Haven and Groton and I'm trying to remember. As a much younger person, like when Foxwoods just opened, I took that road all the way out and stopped at all the antique shops and stopped at all kinds of different places along the way. And I tell you what, that was a nice ride. Wouldn't mind doing that again.
Mike says Route 1. I was going to watch a Clark Gable film, but he never watched any of mine. So.
I tell you what. I was.
Tim says 95 and 1.
95. Bah! I tell you what, people can die on that road. Holy cow. We were on that road, I think, last March or so. And people were absolutely bonkers on that road. Oh my goodness.
Oh my.
They were, oh my goodness, they were driving probably 90 miles an hour.
Tim says he lives in Foxwoods.
Oh. Now, I've been to Foxwoods, never been to the other one. What's the other one? Mohican Sun? Never been to that one.
Ken says if I was an admiral, I would rename my ship
SSP. 95 is fun. 95 is not fun. Oh my goodness. I tell you, it's like playing Frogger. Like 695 in Washington. Yeah. Oh my goodness, 695. That's the Beltway, right, Drum? That is a. Oh, that drives me nuts. Because I think if it's 695, or am I thinking 495? The Beltway there near Washington to go west. I'm trying to remember. Does that hook up with 66? I think. Anyway, that road has all the zigzags in it, and it's like a, I don't know what you want to call it, an interstate or parkway or whatever you want to call it, freeway, and it's what 4 or 5 lanes, and it's zigzaggy, and you got people flying down that thing. I mean, 90, 100 miles an hour.
Really, Mike? He says I work at Mohegan Sun with CT Relic Digger and Wildman.
No way. That is awesome. I didn't know that. Well, I think I knew you were electric guy. But other than that, no, I did not know that.
Canadian Relic Hunter says, come risk your life on the 401 every year. Yorkshire says, can you salty sea dog you?
Wait a minute. Yorkshire said what now?
He says, can you salty sea dog you?
No, before that. I missed it.
Oh, Yorkshire?
Oh, no, I missed it.
I don't know.
Oh, see that? We should all have a meetup then in Connecticut. All you guys are, not all, but a lot of you guys are up that way. 495.
Jersey History Hunter says, let's all go.
I-4 in Florida was the worst road I've ever drove in my life. 95 was always not impressive in Florida either. People were passing in the median. That's the grass median. People were swinging out, and I don't know.
I agree, Yorkshire. That's why Charlie does all the driving.
I'm sorry, Yorkshire. Yorkshire, when we do visit, right? Years ago, when the thoughts were still there about coming to the UK and whatnot, I was then brave enough to think that I was going to rent a car and conquer driving in the UK. I think now I'm more of a public transportation guy. I mean, besides, I think your public transportation system is probably one of the best in the world.
K1 says, I'm down here with your Dr. Pepper plant, Charlie.
Let's see, I've only been to Texas once. I was coming from California back to New Jersey and went through Amarillo. And
I agree, Judy.
I tell you what, people drive like nuts anymore. Drumming the Jersey Turnpike. Yeah, the Turnpike. I tell you what, anymore I avoid that Turnpike. I'll since we're kind of the halfway point in between the state. If I can, I'll hit the Parkway before the Turnpike because it's absolutely nuts.
Mike says I drove in Australia. It freaked me out.
I'll be your taxi, Yorkshire says. I-95 in Baltimore has a tunnel. It looks like a 5-mile-long bathroom.
Probably smells like it too, huh, Ken?
Well, this is Baltimore after all. And I tell you what, that tunnel, right? It always unnerves me, right? Because it leaks. It leaks, or it's always constantly dripping water. And if you're going underneath the bay, it's kind of unnerving. It shouldn't be. Water should not be dropping from the ceiling, hitting the car. The Hudson. I'm sorry. Yeah, or the Hudson Tunnel does that too.
Yeah, avoid the New Jersey Turnpike. And yeah, Mike, we do back roads too. Or the scenic route, as we call it.
Yeah, the scenic route is always better. You get to see stuff. Sorry, Taco.
Is the urinal spaced out along there anywhere, Ken?
I drove through my first red light this morning going to dock appointment. Ah, I'm going to tell Liz. I'm going to tell Liz. Mike, I'm trying to remember. I used to have a good friend that lived in Connecticut, and you figure as much as I've been, she went to the University of New Haven and Guilford. She was from Guilford, Connecticut. That was a nice little area too. Under Fort McHenry, the tunnel, so it could collapse at any moment. You'd have Francis Scott Key coming down on you. Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. Only been on that once. Not only.
You're in for it, Canadian Relic Hunter.
that Chesapeake Bay Bridge. I only been on that once, and what ruined it for me was I went that same day. I was on a bridge from Arlington, not Arlington. It goes from Washington back over to Maryland, and it's probably one of the steepest, highest bridges I've ever been on in my life. Didn't like it, and usually that stuff doesn't bother me, but hey, Jersey history hunters, I've got a bridge for you. And have you guys ever been to Dingman's Ferry across the Delaware? It was one of the last privately owned bridges in the state, and narrow bridge. In fact, I lost a mirror off a car because of that bridge. It's that narrow, old wooden bridge, and it's scenic, but yeah.
Yes, Yorkshire.
Rivendell, I wonder how many British cannonballs are off the coast of Fort McHenry. Trying to get me to lose sleep tonight, are you, Riv? Because, yeah, that's what I do now about the Delaware River, let alone give me a whole new set of water to think about.
From North Jersey to Texas.
Oh, really? North Jersey, how many mirrors have you lost? But, where did we... North Jersey, Texas... see if I can remember... What was the Historical Society? Milford, Pennsylvania. Milford, Pennsylvania has two things, Milford. They have the cemetery, which is a very neat cemetery. They have a museum, which we did not go in. It was a mansion of like one of the former governors of Pennsylvania or something. We didn't go in that. We kind of walked around the grounds. But we stopped at the Milford, Pennsylvania Historical Society. Oh, there's one more thing I got to tell you about Milford. The Milford Historical Society is actually very, very, very neat. And I don't even think there was a cost to go inside that.
North Jersey says it's an easy bridge, and I live right next to Newport.
Supposedly, there's a flag or something that has bloodstains from Lincoln after Lincoln was shot. But I don't think there's really any corroborating evidence of that, but it's still kind of a neat story anyway. They also have a hangman's rope there and other neat stuff. I live right next to Milford. Oh, great, North Jersey.
Thank you, CRH.
If you leave my town and cross into PA, that's Milford. Do you know... No, I'm not going to remember. I can't remember his name. There used to be a guy there who collected Model A Fords. He built, restored, and Model A Fords was his specialty. I can't remember his name. He used to have a Helm's Garage. Man, I tell you what, brain's working tonight. Must be coffee. Guy named Helm's Garage. He'd restore Model A Fords, and if he would buy collections of cars, and if it wasn't a Model A Ford, he'd sell you the rest of the stuff beyond, I won't say cheap, but reasonable, very, very reasonable. And it was always a nice guy. To me, he was a nice guy. And whenever I was in Milford or stopped, I'd see if he was kind of busy or not, because if he wasn't busy, he'd be more than happy to take you over to his pole barn. I mean, it's an enormous pole barn, and show you the cars that he has in there. And some of the stuff in there was just neat. It was extremely neat. Like he has a Model A Ford. I I think it was a postal truck, and it had the like the tracks on the back. Neat. But anyway, say anybody happen to read anything about a bunch of dimes spilling out onto the highway in Las Vegas? I was hearing a little about that earlier, but didn't quite get to read any of the news about it. Yorkshire, have a good night, man. Yellow means go like hell to beat the... Listening while I set some countertops. Okay. Hey, dog.
Have a good night, Ken.
West Virginia Hills driving a semi-tractor trailer fully loaded. Oh my goodness. I tell you what, the truckers, that is no easy job. Love the steam show. Have a good night, Ken. And gotta make supper. Ken, are you going to have bacon? But yeah, I tell you what, gang. I know a lot of us are. We should try and all do the Connecticut thing one time. Besides, I've only been promising somebody to visit the Twain house for some time. Wouldn't it be wonderful to be able? We actually never have the opportunity. At least I don't think so. Anyway, to metal detect the Twain house there in Hartford. You know, dig out some cufflinks with SLC. Twain's real name. I tell you, that would be cool. Truckers can't stop on a dime. No, they spilled them out all over the highway over in Las Vegas. And we will go, says Jersey History. All right. But years ago, they used to have a wonderful billiards hall in Hartford and downtown. I don't know if they still do it. That's been oh my goodness, that's been years ago. That's probably been 20 years plus. Bacon wrapped bubble. That's extremely. If the bacon was raw, that'd be just choo. 606. 606. That was a question from last year. That wasn't even the same street. No, I'm kidding. Connecticut is a quick drive for me.
Mike says you can detect until they stop you.
And for some things, if you just act nonchalant, like you belong or that you should be doing that, probably nobody would bother you. Like, oh, there's a guy over there melody thing. Oh, okay. Until you had probably one of the staff to come out, then they'd be, what are you doing? I'm smell detecting. Oh, okay. Go back in.
Yeah, guys, if you're not sub to Dog is my co-pirate, please go sub him. He only needs 3 to hit 1,000. Mike's not done detecting until he hears the handcuffs come out.
Or gunshots. Yes. The warning shot over the head. Canadian relic.
Used to fix their copier machine.
Canadian relic hunters. Play dumb is the way to go.
Drum, you live 20 minutes from Gettysburg? I love Gettysburg.
I used to fix their copier machine. Twain had a copier machine? Wait a minute, that's how he lost all his money, wasn't it? From the a printing press. Drum and I can't sub him twice.
Well, just make sure you already subbed to him. Sometimes you got to, Hoosier.
You know what? If it's not posted on the rules and regulations, then it's permitted. Otherwise, they'd have a section on there saying it's prohibited. They prohibit alcohol, they prohibit this, that, and the other thing. If they don't prohibit metal detecting, chances are you're good. Otherwise, post it on the little placard.
Jordan says, hear the warning shot go off and go over and try to find the bullet.
Good night, Judy. Do take care.
Good night, Judy. Feel better.
Tim Holmes. Little Round Top. I tell you what, that was an exciting bit of history, wasn't it?
Honey, let's go to Gettysburg and like detect wherever and just tell him Mike said we can.
No.
But look, Mike said I could detect here. See?
What was it? 15 years in jail and $250,000 fine. No. Not worth it. What do they call them? Night hawkers. They just caught some probably late last year down in Manassas. And it did not fare well. Did not bode well. They didn't get the full penalty, but they got quite a substantial. They first were trying to knock them in. They at first they had on multiple counts of, and they were trying to add those multiple counts up, and eventually it got knocked down. They still did jail time, and they still had to pay a very, very hefty fine.
Mike says I'll take a bullet for my Garrett.
But yeah, getting back to Gettysburg, there in the Little Round Top, that was exciting. Chamberlain and all of that. I have a wonderful, wonderful book about Chamberlain. And you'll talk about having the right personnel in the right places at the right time. Chamberlain was your man for that moment. And it was weird because eventually, I don't remember the battle, I'm sorry. But he basically made him a field general because they thought he was going to die from a battle wound on a different battle, not at Gettysburg. And so they kind of made him a general on the spot, and then he got well. And but that was okay. Yeah, I think he deserved it anyway. But hey, speaking of Gettysburg, this is what today would have been the last day of battle, I believe, of Gettysburg.
Yeah.
And I need
Trump
to make.
says he needs to make metal detectors.
Yeah, I was just saying that.
And there are farms not part of the battle.
Absolutely,
Which is
Tim.
true.
Yep. You know what? A case of beer goes a long way when trying to convince the farmer to let you wander around, the rows or whatnot. He got lucky for sure. That he did. And I tell you what, he kind of had that moment of what to do, and it was either go or go big, and he gambled, and it actually worked for him. Bayonet charge downhill, and yeah, I tell you what. Imagine the smell. I can't. Drum. Imagine the smell. There's a wonderful book, and I cannot pull the name of it off the top of my head. If you are interested, I will find out the title. But basically, it's not about the Battle of Gettysburg per se. It's not about the battle that's going on, but it's about the aftermath of the Battle of Gettysburg and about the funeral details, the body-burying details, and the farmers who basically their fields and crops were obliterated. And it was about, basically the aftermath of the town of Gettysburg versus anything really to do with the battle. I mean, it kind of touches on it, has to a little bit. But it was more about the ground itself and what happened and how the town recovered and all that good stuff. Excellent, excellent book. And it goes into detail, gory detail, about the burial details and the who was doing a lot of the body burying and all that good stuff. But it is a wonderful, wonderful book.
He says he's seen that, can't remember the author.
Oh, good, good.
Tim says I have book on CD.
They always talk about how the grass was always greener in the mass graves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was for sure. And there's still stuff all over, and there's still bodies buried in that field, without a doubt. Trenches full of bodies. Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, what was it? 2 years ago, when the railroad that goes through Gettysburg there, they actually pulled a body out from the siding. And we were there last year, and of one place. You can't help yourself after you become what we are in the hobby. Our eyes focus on different things on the ground. We are ground lookers. We're always looking at the ground. And we went through the cemetery. Obviously, Reiser's always going through a cemetery. But we went through the federal cemetery there, the veteran cemetery. And there was a freshly dug grave. There was no body in it yet. So the freshly dug grave is there. The dirt is mounded on the side. Can't touch it. Cameras all over. Can't touch it, but it's like in the dirt that's mounded over there's a piece of shell in it. But yeah, at the same time, being the weirdo I am, I was more impressed with the earthenware and the ceramics that were there, also too, in the mound of dirt.
He says his club is from Gettysburg, and thousands of troops came right through his town.
Neat, wonderful. But and then, of course, after walking away from it, it's like you don't know if you should go tug on like one of the Rangers' shirt and go, hey, there's, but probably gets just pushed right back in. But wonderful, wonderful area. We also went to the Cashtown Inn for the first time when we were there last. We didn't stay there. We just went to see where it was. And believe it or not, neither one of us have been to the Jenny Wade house. So that's one of our go-to hit spots.
We will hit the Jenny Wade house one day.
On the way to Carlisle.
And we will do an investigation at that haunted bridge that I cannot remember the name of it.
On the way to Carlisle. Route 30, a very historic road. Love that road, to be honest with you. I have the book on CD, Tim Holmes says. Oh, the
8 CDs.
Oh, Shara's, that's his name. Shara, that book? Shoot the horses and cannon out of action. Yeah, that's for sure. Because they were heavy and transportation. Oh my goodness. It was the same thing with the Revolution. I've only found one bullet in my town fired. Have you seen the Relic Room T. Gettysburg? Have you seen the Relic Room T. Gettysburg? It's full of weapons left on the field after the battle. I saw a video on YouTube about it. I don't know if you mean there's a private museum, and then there's also the visitor center, which both have weaponry. I'm not sure which one. 606. I tell you what, I had a span there of a break of visiting Gettysburg. I had the experience of the old visitor center, the old brick building that was actually closer in town. That actually had the light show. They had the map on the floor, and they have lights, and they have the narrator come on and tell you the different events and the battles and everything else that was going on. And then different lights would pop up and as he was speaking and giving you the history of the battlefield, And I always thought that was neat, and I remember even back then, I was talking with one of the curators, and they were saying about how they need more space because what was seen in that brick building was only about a quarter of what they had in storage. And the new building actually has I can't think what you call it, cyclorama or whatever, the painting that's 360 degrees, and artifacts and everything else. Relic Room.
He was trying to say from Gettysburg.
Oh!
Yeah, he misspelled because he has fat fingers, it says.
Dramedy Tech, that's another museum I've been meaning to hit, but I never have. I haven't been to the one in Harrisburg either. Oh, Tim, it's closed, but it's still there. I tell you what, I used to like them. I know it seems corny, especially now in the modern day and age of technology and everything. I used to like that light show. Now they got you watching a movie over at the visitor center. This was an archive run by the Parks and Service and full of hundreds of muskets and swords. I'm wondering if that was the visitor center that you're referring to, 606. Speaking of Civil War, you guys want to sneak peek at something? Here we are with the afterglow. See if you guys want to sneak peek. You guys want to sneak peek? Oh. Civil War artifact? You want to sneak peek?
Honey.
What?
Jersey History Hunters. We detect mammoth battlefields. Some of our finds are in their museum.
Ah, wonderful.
That's awesome.
I might have asked this before. I'm sorry, Jersey History Hunters. Was Joe Butch part of your bunch that, if you guys know Joe Butch, I don't know. But Joe Butch sent me a button. Wonderful, wonderful button. But, great, okay. But, anyway, gang, say you guys want to sneak peek. This here is a project. And, unfortunately, I don't have a camera that's going to let you see the whole thing. But I'll let you see part of it. You guys want to see something neat? I tell you what, if, my missus would entertain you for about 5 minutes, I'll go grab something, give you a sneak peek on a project we're working on, and it's going to be a series of videos, but it's going to be a neat project. You guys ready? Am I building enough suspense? Am I building enough tension? And here, hang on for 2 seconds.
I don't know what I'm supposed to talk to everybody about.
Say hi. How are you? And thank goodness Ben Franklin is dead.
Jersey History Hunter says, is he part of Bravo? Bacon and Tequila does sound like a good song. Hi, everybody. I think when Charlie comes back, I'm not going to move. Mally Man says, the suspension is killing me. I gotta move. That's right, I was on the spot.
So, I even got the grandkids trained not to get in Pop Pop's chair. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, gang, I'm trying not to put out anybody's eye with this thing. This here is a cavalryman sword, and there's going to be a video series about this, and long and pointy, and I've started doing research on it. I tell you, well, first let me give you a little bit of a background story on it. This is from an estate, and what's going to eventually come of this is it's going to eventually wind up in a museum after some restoration work. And this is actually from a distant relative, and it's been passed down through the generations, shall we say. And this is a cavalryman sword. This is a PD Schloss, and it's actually in decent condition. And how crazy I want to get with this, but like I said, there's eventually going to be a whole series about this. And
you're not going to get too crazy. You're in my living room.
There will not be any slicing of anything, and especially grandkids. No, no watermelons or nothing like that.
Plaid, duck.
But yeah, try not to hit plaid with it. But that's a cavalryman's sword, and I'll give you just a quick general basis of the story. Is basically real quick, it's going to go to a museum. It's going to go from the estate, from the hands of the estate to a museum for long-term keeping, and there'll be basically a clause with it where they can't sell it, or it has to go back to a family member. But anyway, story is behind that sword is the family had a husband and a brother. The brother dies in Manassas, and the other brother dies in Fredericksburg. And the cavalryman in charge, who was from the same town as these two guys, had to kind of go home and tell the widow that your husband's not coming home. And so the duty of this cavalryman was probably, he's got to tell the widow that you're on your own and your man's not coming back. So this cavalryman actually leaves the widow not only with his sword, but also with his field glasses. And the field glasses are still floating around in a distant part of the family. My hope and my aim is to kind of reunite both the sword and field glasses together and have them housed in a museum at some point. Now, all of this is actually documented by a series of letters, not only from the cavalryman, but also from the widow. So, yes, there's actually very, very good collaborating evidence, and so we're working on it. So in the meantime, through all of that, we'll be doing a series of videos on it and of the people involved and more in depth of the history, and then we'll actually kind of do a little series of getting it to the museum and all that good jazz. And so that's upcoming. AWR, how are you?
Hi, AWR.
I don't think that thing is going too far from Charlie's safe.
That is true, Hoosier. And Mallyman, I would hope that you wouldn't go anywhere near that sword.
Oh man, I could really mess up my finger with that thing. Yes, I tell you what, there's still a decent edge on that thing. It will be restored though. They try to doctor it up through the years, and it looks really horrible. There's also on the hand of it, on the handle, why they painted it, which is quite horrible. The leather's been painted. It can be undone. I will not be doing the restoration work. I will not. No, that's for. And with something in that good a condition, it's just been coated over, unfortunately, with paint. Why? But other than that, it's in wonderful condition. It just needs to be undoctored. But anyway, yeah, that will be. Am I live? Yes, Mike, you are.
Yeah, I think we're lagging. Yeah.
You think we are lagging?
Well, let's see. What did my honey just say?
You may have to refresh. I don't know. Drum detect. Who would paint such a beauty? Unfortunately, sometimes people think they're helping things when actually, yeah. You see it sometimes, well, in art, sometimes coins. Sometimes people try and clean coins that shouldn't be cleaned, but I feel behind. No lag. Uh-oh. All good here. Okay. But yeah, I gave you the handle. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not, but this is actually something that's actually painted over the leather. And what the actual restoration process on that is going to be is, I don't know. But we'll see. But we'll kind of document the journey from basically restoration to wherever it eventually gets housed in the museum. I don't know which museum yet. I'm very particular which museum it will eventually go to, because Some museums have this habit of when they want to raise funds, they'll sell artifacts. And I don't want this to happen with that. But so should I
Stop hollering.
So should I take those hammered coins out of the CLR? Who's hollering?
Well, let's see. I gotta find it again. K-What says, I almost jumped out of my skin, Charlie.
Well, that's to keep you awake.
And then Mally Man says, scares me too sometimes, K-What. Try living with it.
Now, see, I get accused of scaring people all the time. And I won't say anything. I'll just walk into the room, and then somebody will jump, like, out of their skin. And all I do is walk in the room. I live here. She should expect me every now and again.
Well, if you didn't walk so quiet, maybe I'd hear you.
My feet, they're made out of flesh.
Your feet are quiet, but your mouth is not.
Name the Gettysburg CD, name the Gettysburg Gospel. I'll have to try and check that out, Tim. The chat is lagging. Darn lagging chat.
I don't, Mike.
How do you sleep, Sandy? She usually sleeps with her eyes closed, huh?
I sleep when Charlie's at work. Sometimes, if he's not blowing my phone up.
It's my job.
Holy eggshells, Batman.
He needs
That's
a cow. Wow, Jinx, you guys were right there together with it. Jordan says, you know, Crotal bells in Mississippi needs a cowbell. Oh, goodness. Let him have it. Say, oh, my goodness, 606. I'll remember that. I'll tell Rosie.
Now, see, Charlie don't have to go to work tomorrow morning, so every time he falls asleep tonight, I'm going to walk in the bedroom and just say something really loud so I can scare him.
Coins! Huh?
Bacon wrap slippers.
Then your dog will really be eating your slippers. I put a Wheatie that I found in gravel parking lot, and it took the crust off my foot. Let it soak for 30 minutes, then cleaned and rinsed it really good. Oh, I tell you. But, hit a cowbell.
I need a sizzling bacon ringtone.
But would you actually hear it? I mean, is it loud enough to... Because also, sizzling bacon also sounds like fire. Fire and what else? Paper bag rattling softly.
Nah, okay, what? I'm not going to get him back. I love him and he doesn't wake me up and scare me on purpose.
So she thinks. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, do we want to start a war there, honey?
No, I am only kidding. All right, Drum, have a good night.
Good night, Drum.
Mike, you know what? It's a learning process. You know, with everything and everybody, you know.
Canadian Relic Hunter says bacon sizzling alarm clock would work.
That would get you up. Absolutely.
Kind of like smell-o-vision, but with an alarm clock. Because if I smell bacon frying in my house, I'm getting my butt out of bed.
But I tell you,
I'm getting my butt out of bed to see who's cooking.
Have any of you guys tried those pencils yet? I don't remember the name of the pencils. Something pencils. It's supposed to help the coppers. I haven't tried them yet. I have them on my Amazon shopping cart, but I haven't bought them yet. I can't think what they're called. Something pencils.
Have a good night, Mike.
Test.
And enjoy your dinner.
That was about halfway up the screen before I said it. I'm out to early morning detecting. Oh, well, good luck out there, Jersey history hunters. Hope you find good stuff. Andre's pencils. Yes, thank you. I haven't tried those
Jersey
yet.
history hunters.
Have you tried them, Mike? Do they work well?
Le Crayon.
I am of the thinking that I found it. It's now mine. I will do what I want with it. And a lot of times you can't make it any worse. Who's your hillbilly? Yes. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. That is a refreshing. Only because how many times have people done a video and in the comment section people are going, "Don't clean it!" You know, it's mine. I'll clean it if I want to. But at the same time, you have to use your own judgment. How far you want to take it? How far should you take it? But has anyone tried goo gone on coins? No. Haven't tried that either. Good night, Jersey. I didn't actually see you go, but have a good night.
Jersey history hunters and Mike Wolf, you guys have a safe holiday.
Yeah, Mike Wolf, have a good holiday, and we'll catch you around on the tube. Oh, there we are. We are back. We blanked out there for a second. And yes, Mike Wolf, send us a menu, please. That's well, both of you guys, 606 and Hoosier, you guys. If you guys don't know, on the East Coast and the West Coast, we have oceans. No, I'm kidding. Why? Once you,
I'm not touching that one. Sorry.
Once you pull coins from that saltwater environment, like colonial coins, they're toast. Silver, you can get lucky with silver. I mean, I'm talking like colonial era. The coppers are usually toast, but the silver is actually still quite decent. What's weird, there is no rule of thumb for it. In the marsh mud environment, they usually come out black, and I mean black. Black. If you're using a Dell laptop right now, it comes out that black. But if you're coming out like a sandy, beachy type area, and you have a lot of wave action, or at least minimal with tide, they'll come out gray. I'm trying to think of a color to associate it with it. Kind of like a very dull gray until you actually kind of work it a little bit. Then it'll come out what you're used to seeing silver is. So if anybody wants to tell you, a coin came out of like an area and whatnot, and it just came out and they never cleaned it, and it comes out this bright and shiny thing, it more likely never came out in the mud. Because I have one of my favorite silver coins I've ever found is a 1945 Walking Liberty half, and 1945, and it came out of the mud, and it is dark. I mean, it's dark. I could clean it, but I choose not to. I like it stained. I like it the way that kind of looks the day I pulled it out, and like I said, it's probably one of my favorite finds. That was a wonderful day, and but yeah, that's how they come out.
Mississippi Bottle Dick says, I use lemon concentrate and a tablespoon of baking soda on my coins. Cover with warm water and let soak overnight. It cleans them and doesn't damage the coins.
Ah. Now, Mississippi, are you around any brackish water by any chance? Okay, what? I don't like sand. Forget beaches. Well, okay, what? Let me tell you what. I'm the easiest metal detectorist to find on the beach, because in the summertime you'll have. I'll do beach hunts. You probably haven't seen any videos this year of a real live beach hunt, not my bay stuff, but a beach hunt. I'm the guy that's easy to pick out because I'll be the guy with a long sleeve shirt and pants, and yeah, it looks like I'm either going to the woods or came out of the woods, and Yeah, I don't have shorts and the flip flops and yeah, no.
That it does, 606. It works. But it still gets everywhere. And I knew what you meant. You didn't have to correct it.
When I was a kid, someone gave me a nice Morgan. I threw it in a drawer and forgot about it for 15 years. Now it has a nice dark tarnish. Now I actually, isn't that the case though? I know some of the coins that I've had for years. It's almost aged that way. You know, when I first got some of them, why they I didn't really know how to take care of a coin when I first got them when I was a younger kid even. And now they actually have a very nice, appealing look to it. And there's nothing there that's super fantastic. We're talking there's like barbers in there, stuff like that, and they're not the world's best. They're not going to be sent off to be graded or anything like that. But yes, they do get that nice little patina to it. Yes, you bring more sand home in your car than you saw at the beach. And it winds up everywhere. That's
Doesn't
me.
matter how much you try to knock it off with baby powder, whatever, you still bring home half the beach.
And Jordan says he's the only one at the beach in cowboy boots. I haven't been to the beach since I was 16 and went to Destin, Florida. Beautiful, but I hate the sand, and a crab bit my ankle. Well, that'll scar you for life right there. The sharks. I can remember sharks as I was a kid. Sharks. Not just sharks, but sharks. Sharks that were coming. There was people actually catching the sharks with their hands. Small sharks.
Sand sharks?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Morgans do turn an appealing black tone, especially when wrapped in paper for years. I tell you what, sometimes, it's appealing, but I don't know. Lenny No, back. Had to put ice blocks in the animals' water.
That's right. Got to keep the animals cool.
Absolutely. Welcome back, Lenny.
That sounds about right, K-Watt.
I'll go roll around in the dirt. I just hate sand. As a kid growing, this latter part of my life, I'm making up for a childhood not spent in the dirt. And because
he lived a very sheltered life.
I used to hate getting dirty, and then all of a sudden, I'll go play in the mud in the marsh and ruin the interior of automobiles. And
that he does.
But hey, it comes off. Canadian, I'd rather eat dirt than sand. You know what? While I'm thinking of it, before I forget again, I gotta write down Coin Dragon. He was the. He probably sent me an email, but did he acknowledge he won? I lost track of chat all through that.
I think so.
Okay. Mike, been up since 4 a.m. Cannot keep eyes open. Have to hit the hay. Y'all have a safe 4th of July. Good night, all. Thanks for the stream, Trump. Mike, have a good night and do have a safe one tomorrow. And,
yes, have a safe 4th and have a good night, Mike.
Yeah, we will not be straying too far from the house. We may be getting out for a little bit of metal detecting, a little bit of other stuff, but we're not
going out on any main road.
Nah, and we'll definitely be back before all the crazies get out there.
I hear that, 606.
Digging down. I'm a country girl. Dirt don't hurt you. No, it does not hurt you. It all washes off.
Who's your hillbilly? Oh man, we used to fill the sandbox box up, tractor tire, with water when we were kids. We always loved getting dirty.
I tell you what. Oh my god! And I tell you what, when you're metal detecting in the marshes and whatnot, and you're walking through the mud and whatnot, sometimes that stuff does not wash off easy. You'll wind up with stained everything, stained hands, stained feet. Even though the mud will go right through your socks, and actually will stain your leg. Of course, it could be just New Jersey that does that.
It could just be the icky cedar water we have here.
I'm with you, 606. I have to drive 100 miles to get to a beach.
K. Watt says, I'd go if I could sit on the balcony.
Was Cheryl in today? Cheryl should have received her coin from last live stream.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So you YouTubers out there, all right, you guys ready? So I haven't decided if I'm going to do battle or not. Now, on the last live stream, I had three. I don't even want to call it. It wasn't a copyright strike. It was a basically they were telling me that any kind of monetization of the video was going to go to this person who was claiming copyright against one of the songs. You know, those songs that I had between the live stream and the Afterglow. And now you guys know, as what you can probably tell, I researched the crap out of those songs. And not only were they from the Library of Congress, but they were also in public domain. There was no copyright infringement because they were all prior to 1923. And I had actual documentation that I had printed out for these songs. Cause some of them were on the Edison wax spiral graphs. And so basically the title of the company who's claiming the copyright is somebody called Revenue for Copyright Holder. Who the heck's that? That's not even an entity. That's nothing. So I haven't decided yet. Two of them I deleted. I thought, yeah, screw it. I don't. You know, it was nothing that was going on anyway because it's in between the live stream and the Afterglow. And then when I got to one, I kind of have a personal issue with it. I'm probably going to make a point with it. And I'm going to write YouTube says, you know what? These people are claiming copyright. They cannot because it's in public domain. And it's been so since 1923. Or actually 1922 to be exact. And so I don't know if people are just claiming copyrights on vague general stuff. And is hoping just to basically steal money that way through views and whatnot, because it's really crazy because all of those Edison wax rolls are in public domain, but I'm not going to fight it, but I'm kind of going to go, hey, what is going on with this?
Silver Baggins.
Hey, Silver Baggins, how are you? And so I let that be a lesson to you. Always be consciously aware of what's going on in the background or whatnot.
His fleece was white as snow, Tim.
Mary had a little. Oh, let me tell you what, Tim. About 10 or 15 years ago, I should have been really quick with my wits at the time. I was actually associated with a guy who was digitalizing all of the Edison wax rolls, and he at the time he gave me a CD of about 10 songs, and I wish I stayed in contact with him because I tell you what, there's so many of those rolls of material that is just gone from any type of mainstream. You will not find them on the internet anywhere, and a lot of the vaudevillian singers and actors and everything else like that, he had copies of, because he was not only restoring the rolls, but he was actually playing the rolls and then make digital recordings of them. Fantastic stuff. Yeah, Jordan, they'll get you. That was one thing.
Yeah.
while we were at one point in the Philadelphia thing, that was something we always had to try and be conscious of what was playing on the background. I don't remember which place we were at, but I remember there was very loud music, and it was popular music of today. And I thought, either got to talk loudly and keep talking over it, and basically so your voice covers most of what's going on, or do a voiceover. And I don't remember which place that was. That might have been Independence Hall. But of course, it's Independence Hall. It's a shame to have any kind of stuff like that blaring anyway.
Yeah, okay, what? You got to keep them in line.
Yeah, that's the trouble with Tim. It's been so long ago, I don't remember his name. I used to know where he lived. And I often, I often thought about driving by his house and using my hunting app that we use for metal detecting, to figure out who owns what property, and hopefully seeing if his old, the old owner is still listed. By the way, if you've got the hunting app and you're trying to find out who owns what property in order to ask permission, the hunting app is a help where if you go up the door knock and go, "Oh, you're Mr. Jones," you've already got the name, so it kind of you're already endearing to them. "Oh, you must know me. You got my name, Yeah, you're Mr. Jones." Of course, don't tell them the hunting app told you so, because that wigs people out. It makes you sound like a stalker. But but yeah, that kind of helps. Hoosier, let's sue them, Reiser. I just want it acknowledged. I just want to go, hey, yeah, this can't be copyrighted because it's long gone. I'm hoping we can have somebody from YouTube just to listen to it and go, hey, yeah, this can't be, and what can they do? Just demonetize your video or get it removed? Actually, they can get it removed. It's up to whoever claims it. I've seen that happen. I can't remember off the top of my head. Usually they give you a choice. They give you a choice either to wipe it out and you'll get this just a dead spot in your video where the music was, or sometimes they'll say, no, it's ours, and they'll give you a strike, a copyright strike. I've never gotten a strike. I've only gotten the thing where, hey, we're going to take all the money from your video. And the thing of it is, it's always been, I don't even want to say it. I've always done research to find out what is public domain. And so it's always kind of annoyed me every now and again when I'll experiment something with another YouTube channel I have, when I get something that will get a copyright notice on it. So I always will test something before using it. And then it's weird because they will try and claim a copyright on stuff that you can't. A lot of your early radio programs from the 1930s and 40s that were intended to air once, why all those are in public domain, and every now and again you'll get one. I know this from talking to other people. They'll get the copyright. I was like, you can't. They're in public domain. They were in public domain the day after it aired on the airwaves back then, and because syndication was not even a thought. They probably, when they did the show, they never thought it would ever be heard again after that day.
Okay. Congrats, Silver Baggins, for hitting 100 subscribers.
Yes, congrats, Silver Baggins. Congrats, man.
Since how Charlie wouldn't pause for 2 seconds so I could tell everybody to go subscribe.
Oh, you just did. 606.
Too late. He's already at 100.
Oh, okay. If you get enough copyright strikes, YouTube can suspend your account. Yeah, I've seen that happen to people. I use the Hunt Stand app. I don't remember what mine's called. Wait a minute, I can tell you. Mine is called... Hey, guess what? Mine's called the Hunt Stand app. It is a handy dandy gadget, though. I tell you what. I used to be really anti-technology, believe it or not. Used to be a brilliant quote from a movie where he actually it's Mr. Hobbs Takes a Vacation, old Jimmy Stewart movie. He actually made a statement where he wishes there was an un-Edison, some guy that goes around uninventing things. I used to be of that like mine, but I tell you what, anymore, this gadget here is pretty darn handy, especially with treasure hunting, metal detecting.
Okay, Canadian Relic Hunters is at $2.94, and he needs to get 300 before the weekend. Are you doing a giveaway, Canadian Relic Hunter? .606 says, do you have to pay a subscription to HuntStream?
Yes, and it's one of the cheaper ones. I think it's like 11 or 12 bucks. MC had one last year. It was almost $30, and I wasn't paying that. And then the Hunt Stand one came along. I think it was like $11.95 or something, or 12 bucks. I don't remember off the top of my head. But it's for as help as see. I always like to test things out. You know, they do have a free trial period, I believe, and after trying it out and seeing how it could be useful, the same thing with my my Livestream app or application or program, whatever you want to call it. I will be buying the subscription to them. There's so much more that we can do, and so far I'm getting a handle on it, and it's really, I don't want to say it's easy to use. It's manageable. There might be easier stuff out there, but I'm getting the hang of it.
Anyway, Canadian Relic Hunter is giving away a 1920 large scent, and 606 says for a year or a month.
Canadian Relic Hunter, every now and again, I have to stop and think. 1920 large scent? What can he mean? What could that possibly? Yeah, it's Canadian. Yeah, large.
Yeah, he is Canadian.
I know. It's
Relic Hunter.
It's like you guys use different money or something, you know? For a month? For a year? For a month? I believe that's a year. No, I would not pay $11 or $12 a month. Heck no. But a year? Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a year. Michael, I can't sub twice. I've tried like 50 times now. YouTube has rules or something. I know. Darn them.
I know, it'd be nice if we could like sub each other like millions of times, huh guys?
Let's see, 56. Boom. No. Yes. No. Well, we will.
Make up your mind.
So you always get confused because the Flying Eagle, which I should have memorized because it's probably my second favorite. No, I won't put it up there. Probably like my fourth or fifth favorite coin. Which really you can tell because I have to look. Our large cent stopped in 1857. But they did have the 1856 Flying Eagle. So it kind of overlapped. George, you're back! Welcome back, George. Canadian money is pretty. Yes, it is.
Yes, we would, Kevin. Yes, we would.
We would all have 1 million subs already. You're sure.
It's called robot.
Yeah. I tell you what, some of the kids out there, the video game kids, not all of them, some of them, I will actually watch some of the video game channels just to see how they amaze me, really. But
irony.
No, Canuck Jr., I actually will watch her videos. I find them highly entertaining.
Honey, what's her YouTube name?
Miss N.
Miss Nekatendo.
Miss N. And do watch her videos. They're highly entertaining. I believe her last video before scared the crap out of me. She had a little dude. She had the intro going, and then this doodad pops out, and it scared the Billy bejesus out of me. It was quite fun, and that's just a bizarre sense of humor that we both have. If you ever want to take us on one of those haunted trail rides or like a haunted house, we'll be the folks laughing all the way through it. It's weird. That's cheating, K-Watt, because you can't say it. It's Neko Tendo. I just can say it now. Neko Tendo. Miss N is much easier, though. Who's your hillbilly? That's what I've heard, but what's the point? You have to have so many watch hours. And that's all, again, that's all about having content and whatnot. I'll see some channels which I won't understand what their content is, but
I just hope you get subscribers.
you are officially my agent. But sometimes these kids will just channel hop. And they'll channel hop to any channel whatsoever, and they'll try to get all the subscribers and everything else like that. And then I die. K-Watt, if anyone wanted to sub her, Charlie. I don't know what you mean.
No, she put Miss Nekatendo.
Oh.
Wanted to subscribe to her.
Well, that's great, K-Watt. Thanks for putting it up there.
Hey, what? Charlie just has a problem saying her name. So I tease him about it.
I couldn't spell Mississippi until I friended Mississippi here. No, I'm kidding. I'm only kidding. That's for short, K-Watt. Yeah, 606. I do gather that, but one thing that has struck me, whatever content you put out there and you leave there, it's always there. You know, some of my best watched videos isn't the stream. It's not the weekly metal detecting for it. Even though they stay there. Strangely enough, I may have to go back and do more minutia minutes. Probably one of the best minutia minute I've done was about the Cracker Jack one. That gets more views, I think, than any of the videos I've done. What the Cracker Jack video? What was the other one? I forget the other minutia minute that gets a lot of the views.
Cracker Jacks, and I think the animal crackers.
Oh, yeah, that's right, the animal cracker one. Absolutely, Jordan. I tell you what. I don't know, when everything else is supposed to be scary, we wind up laughing at it. I don't know how that is. But, nostalgia? Centralia, Pennsylvania. Yeah, that's another one that gets quite a bit. Only because it's Centralia. It's a big, what do you want to call it? It's not quite fad.
It's a big.
Yeah,
nothing.
It's part of, it's almost like modern day folklore. Everybody wants to go to the burned out coal mine town, where you supposedly can see smoke coming from the ground. And,
yeah, we didn't say
it. I have to, Mississippi Bonnet. I have to sing it in my head to spell it myself, Kayla.
What?
How to
Mississippi?
Spell? Yes.
Thank God for autocorrect.
Got to go back to work. Happy 4th of July, everyone. All right, Silver Baggins, do take care. If you're going back to work, do stay alert. And we'll catch you around on the tube. And so what's our 4th of July going to be like? Well, we're probably going to go out a little bit of Melly, not a lot. Probably they changed the forecast on us. At the beginning of the week, they said it was supposed to be 82 degrees. Now we're back up to 90. So we're probably going to do that. Maybe also do a little bit of, what, babe?
Geocaching.
And may also tinker around with the stream here. And I'm going to develop this thing. I will be paying for the, this is still the trial for the program. And I'm actually going to pay for it. And when I pay for it, it's going to allow me to also basically split the screen. And on one side, you'll have yours truly. And on the other side, I'll be able to either interview or converse back and forth with somebody via Skype. And we're going to develop that idea. I'm going to try it with a couple of experiments first, because you know how I go. I test everything out and hopefully get an idea of what to do and how to use it before doing something seriously. Then hopefully some point in the future, I actually will interview different people. Like I'm trying to get a hold of the guy who wrote the John Barry book. I would like to actually interview him on half of the screen and go have a little back and forth about the Revolutionary War and artifacts and etc. But that's stuff to be worked on in the future. Well, I'm hoping to tinker with that a little bit tomorrow night. But Yorkshire, you're back! Uh-oh. Did I miss it? Did I miss you? I go back to work for my theater checks, and you're still talking. Well, Yorkshire is hard to get you to stop every now and again.
Hoosier, I did my first one this morning with our oldest daughter, and yeah, we had a great time doing it. So we decided we're going to do a few more.
I've actually come across some metal detecting. They're hidden behind a tree or something like that. And I didn't really sign in the book. I just looked in there to see what was there. I left it there, but I thought it was kind of neat. Jordan Anderson made a trip across state lines to get good fireworks for the 4th. We can actually buy them now in New Jersey, believe it or not. For years and years and years we couldn't. Who's your hillbilly? We actually have some good ones here, especially if you know a guy. Hoosier, you remember years ago they used to have the M80s? I used to love those things. I used to love to light them and throw them in water, and it was like watching a depth charge. They used to be great fun.
Yeah, I used to like them too until my brother went to throw one and realized there was a child standing there and held it in his hand and it messed up his hand.
Oh.
So I don't play with fireworks no more.
I think we also use those M80s to scare away animals when we were camping. If you hear something, you hear the raccoons or whatever racket out there, light one, throw it out of the tent, and scares everything for miles, including other campers.
Yeah, my brother goes like this to point at you, and his finger goes like this without even trying. Wait
a minute. K-Watt, you have a cricket in your neck? That must be annoying to hear the legs rubbing against each other. In your neck? No!
Is it a cricket or a grasshopper?
MN sucks. I have to jump over to SD to get good stuff. Let's see, Minnesota to South Dakota is what I'm gathering. The only thing we can get anymore is Roman candles. We had some epic wars with those. At a younger age, I'm laughing now, thinking at a younger age, yes, I'd be all in that. At this age, no, I can't move that fast no more, man. You know, there's people even at this age who want to do the whole paint gun thing. I can't move like I used to. You know, and things hurt. There's no diving behind, for cover. You know, there's no such thing as casually walking for cover. So yeah, at this age, it's not. No. But as a younger guy, oh yeah, we'd be all in that. Even with paint, I wish they had paint. We had laser tag. We were shooting people with laser beams. No. Bacon wrapped crickets. That does not sound good. Metal detecting Yorkshire. What's the topic? There isn't one. Just join in wherever you are.
I get orders.
We used to take firecrackers and put them in. That's not funny.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. My brother about took my head off with a Roman candle when I was 4. He was 14. Holy cow! Oh, Mississippi, yeah, the M80s. Some mailboxes didn't survive. Why didn't I think of that? Here, I was just interested in watching the water go. Those M80s, they used to say they were like, what, a quarter stick of dynamite or something like that? At this age, when you should know better, they are dangerous. I tell you what, they were great fun as a kid. Kids can't have the fun that we used to have nowadays. Jordan added, paintball is so fun. Only if you can, you know what, you probably could do like a draw. You know, who could be the fastest on the draw and whatnot with paintball? That'd be more my speed. But yeah, diving for cover, no, that don't look. That looks painful.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't live near UK. What?
A lot of people around here ended up with a possum in their mailbox. A live one or a dead one? We used to put mini rockets in the handlebars and light. In college, my buddy let off a couple half sticks in the parking lot. Needless to say, they left a couple of potholes.
Ooh.
You know, that reminds me. I was going to tell Rivendell. Right? Hoosier, I don't know if you caught Rivendell's live stream yet. I tell you, very educated guy, and I am jealous of one thing that he does very well, and that's his grasp of oh my goodness, not of Greek. What is it? No wonder I failed it several times in college. Oh crap!
I have no idea what you're talking about, Rib.
Brain froze. Not of Rivendell's handle of Greek, but his handle of. Oh, my brain froze. Latin, thank you. Oh my goodness. I tell you what, it took me 3 tries in college to pass Latin. First 2. The course was at 8:30 or 9 o'clock in the morning. I can't learn Latin that early in the morning. I can't learn much of anything at that time of morning. But the third class was in the afternoon and finally made it through. I don't know if the professor just felt sorry for me or what, but I still do not have a grasp on Latin. But Rivendell does a wonderful job with it. Hoosier Hillbilly, yeah, the cops showed up and it was a bad deal. We used to do Civil War battles with paintball. 2 teams line up on opposite sides of a hayfield. When you get hit, you lay down right where you are. Okay. 606, the real M80s were wicked. I bought some a few years ago that were nothing more than a big firecracker. I tell you what, 606, back in the day, they were actually, alright, yeah, I'll say it. They were dangerous, but they were still great fun. Yeah, Hoosier, I think, I don't remember what the coin was. I was looking at some British coins, and yeah, I'm envious. I'm jealous. I can't do Latin like that. But yeah, I tell you what, some people have the knack for it, and I say he does. Metal detecting e-text with Kevin. Freeze paintballs, and they really hurt. Wow, I can't imagine that. That's gotta hurt. Yeah. Mississippi, we used to get up on a two-story building and shoot cherry bombs down Main Street. Oh, goodness.
Airsoft guns really hurt too.
We get bored in small towns. I used to love small towns, I tell you. I used to think I lived in a small town until I went to college and started growing up, and going to different places. And then once I got to like some of the parts in western Pennsylvania and seeing what a real small town was, we're talking a population of less than 30. And then when I went to New Mexico, then I got to even see a smaller small town where you have a population of either 5 or 6. Wow. Freezing them is illegal here. Wow, George. They actually have laws about that. Paintballs hurt bad enough as it is. Yorkshire. We used to go cow pushing years ago. Good fun. In the States, we call it cow tipping, Yorkshire.
Oh, yeah. I've been there, done that.
And why does that not surprise me, Yorkshire?
Got in trouble for it.
Now, does that surprise you coming from Yorkshire?
What?
That he'd be a cow tipper?
No.
See? I tell you. Hoosier says, my hometown has 900. One of those places where everybody knows everybody. So you better be on your best behavior at all times. Oh, well, Canadian Relic Hunters already said that. May I have your email address? Says Tim Holmes. Tim Holmes, you mean me, or are you talking to somebody else in the chat? If you mean me, somebody can probably Rosie, I think, is still awake. I don't think Rosie's been to sleep yet. We'll see if I know the command for it.
Wait a minute, what are you looking for? I'm sorry, I was doing something else.
We'll try that. See if it actually will pop up in the chat. And there you go. There's the email. See, Rosie is still awake.
I'm sorry, babe. I was resetting my password.
No, that's fine. Ah, see, KY. See, she says that too. She says, I can totally see that, Yorkshire.
Alright, now I'm back.
Wait a minute. Holy crap, dude. Never went anymore. I can imagine that. Yeah, that had been. Did he just try and bite you, or did he try and kick you too? Hoosier. AWR, M80s were strong enough to explode toilets. Ah, we know, I know. Melody Tech Yorkshire, I have a compromising photo with Rosie with a washing machine. If I don't win next week, the world will see it. Ah, but was it a Maytag machine or a Bendix? Canadian Relic. Hey, I got it on the 2 watch. I haven't seen it yet. No, man, he tried to kill us. Let's see. I rode a horse quite regularly when I was younger. I want to say regularly. My aunt had one. And after that, I became infatuated with westerns as a younger guy. So I always wanted to try really doing like a trail ride and riding a horse. And gave it a go when I was about 40-ish. Not quite 40. And got it out of my system. We'll say that. I prefer a 4-wheel drive Jeep, though. Oh, I thought it was, I don't remember who I was talking to some time ago. Talked about metal detecting, but using a horse as your conveyance to going to a site. I thought that would make for a wonderful video, but thanks, Charlie. I'm honored. Well, it usually goes on my watch later if I can't get around to it. I do scroll through, and that's how I don't know what I got on there now. About 140 or 150 watch later. So it's just stuff that I get caught up on. Mississippi used to be a Maytag repairman. Oh, Mississippi! I got a washing machine now that needs fixing. I'm between the thinking that it's either going to get replaced or I'm actually going to take the time to break it down. The inner seal where the spindle goes up, that seal is no good. But at the same time, this washing machine is, I'm thinking of new ones in store. I think it was that final straw to go, to kind of push you over that certain edge. It's like when you have a used car, you only put so much time and energy and money into it before you go, you know what, this thing has lived its life, now it's time for that. I think this washing machine's along those lines.
Yeah, Yorkshire, if that means cow patty, no, we're a little smarter than that in the States.
I got kneed on the nose by a cow when I was 4. Holy cow! Oh my goodness, Mr. Hoopenshiner is begging for a pony. We have to escape that with the grandkids. No big livestock for the grandkids.
Yeah, we're good with that because when my mom tells them no, it just means no.
Hoosier Hillary, I've not had good luck with horses in my life. Yorkshire, no. Yeah, okay, I'm just getting to that one. No, that does not sound like a good time. I would try it after enough alcohol, probably, though, Hoosier says. Wow, 40 years old for a pony. Chip chucking. I don't think I've ever thrown excrement at anybody. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever had excrement thrown at me. I've been bit by more horses than dogs. Oh, so back to that story. So when I was doing that trail ride, when I was in my 30-ish years, why, that horse had a mind of its own. I couldn't find the clutch, and couldn't find the brake either. He just liked to go. Unfortunately, some of those horses get trained to know the trail so well, you could just let the reins go and they're going to do their thing. I didn't like that because I wanted to stop every so often, and he didn't want to. But yeah, he had a kind of his mind of his own. We couldn't come to agreement as far as what we wanted to do and where we wanted to go. He wanted to go one way, I wanted to go the other. I wanted to go slower, he wanted to go faster, and he also wanted to go too close to the edge of the escarpment, and yeah, I wanted to be close over by, away from the side of the cliff, and yeah, he didn't like it.
Okay, Yorkshire. I never like threw whatever that is at anything, but we did used to take the little creamers from like our local convenience shops for the coffee, and if you crack them open just a little bit and you throw them out the window at a high rate of speed, it makes a really nice mess on the windshield of another vehicle. And it was quite fun.
It's black.
Yeah, Hoosier, I'm going to have to agree with 606. She'd get attached and you'd have a whole herd of cattle.
Oh my goodness. No, did you read this last thing?
Yeah.
Hoosier, you know, when you sleep at night, lock the door. Lock the door.
She sounds like our kind of kid, honey.
Yeah, sounds like one of our grandkids, strangely.
Yeah. I think her and the monster could be really good friends.
Well, laughed hysterically. Was it the evil laugh? Like, ooh, ha, ha, or was it just like pure enjoyment laughing? There, she could really like fried chicken.
606 said, Hoosier, that may require therapy down the road. Yorkshire, I was young, but yeah, I knew better and still did it anyway.
I tell you what. You know what I would like to do for retirement day? I got this all kind of planned out. Because our, you know,
We're
after
not old enough to retire.
we're getting there. So
Speak for yourself.
basically, when we do retire, I thought different businesses to start, you know, and I thought, you know, I'd like to be like a Garrett dealer or you know whatnot, or you know, sell metal detectors and whatnot. I don't know. But something I've always had in the back of my mind that's a lost art that we don't have anymore is, and the people that do it don't really do it well.
Slaughterhouses?
No, they actually have a oddity museum, and you go to one of the seaside resort areas, you know, along the boardwalk, and rent out one of the buildings there, and have maybe multiple floors, and have an oddity museum of all different kinds of weird and bizarre stuff, and some, you know, touristy trap, and of course have a gift shop, you know, and all that good jazz. So, you know, people have to buy a ticket to go through the museum, and then of course, you know, trap them coming out through the gift shop, and I thought that would make a wonderful, wonderful retirement business, but still kicking that around. You know, it's
Good
kind
night, Dirt 30.
Night Dirt 30. But still kicking that around, you know, in my head. You know, it always lurks there every now and again, but it's part of P.T. Barnum inside me that wants to come out. Speaking of people who don't do it well, what's the big one that doesn't? That's kind of neat, but really doesn't do it well. They took the name. He was a cartoonist in the 1930s who did it. Ripley's, believe it or not, and it doesn't really have the oddity sensation that Ripley was really known for back in the day.
It's still oddities, but it's more
sanitized. It's not as shocking, you know.
It's more what's it called? Like the record-breaking things than it is actual oddities anymore.
Yeah. Buy a haunted building to set up shop, Charlie. Yeah, I tell you what, Sandy wouldn't like that. Well, you already have a circus here.
AWR, if he gets an oddity shop, yes, it's going to have to be in a haunted building. Whether he likes it or not.
You know what? I also had ideas. Back in the day, I don't think there's any video footage of it left. One of the places alright, mind you who we are. We are not the mainstream people, okay? Well, on our honeymoon, we went to multiple different bizarre places. One of the places we went was the Jekyll and Hyde Club in New York City, when they still had their theme restaurant in Times Square.
I was afraid to pee.
And there's actually truth to that. But it was like a Stephen King themed restaurant. Just to give you a little bit of it, you would go, and you're in Times Square, so everything's, brightly lit and everything else, and all of a sudden you get to this one building, it's got a skull on it, great big giant skull, and you go inside and up the stairs, and it's dimly lit. I mean, it's lit, but it's not fully lit, so it kind of has a scary, murky atmosphere.
And at the top of the stairs, there's skulls. There's a big glass case of skulls.
So, anyway, so it's a restaurant type / bar, and you're seated, and they actually have a little floor show that goes on with it. But before the floor show, stuff is going on around your head. They have animatronics, and a mummy on the wall would start talking, and there was all kinds of crazy stuff like that.
Skeletons would play piano.
They had pictures on the walls with the eyes cut out in the pictures, and great stuff. I hope there's somewhere like on YouTube or wherever that's got like footage of this. Now
There'd be a spider that would crawl up along the picture that was right next to you.
Yeah, and they also have a smaller place in Greenwich Village, which isn't the same because it doesn't capture that same ambiance, the creepy ambiance that the other place did.
Took daughter 2 and 3 there one year.
But anyway, so at the table, they come and take your order, and of course they have the themed menu items. You can get a real live Bloody Mary, and that kind of stuff. And but in the meantime, before food comes out and whatever, they got the floor show going on, and so there's like a Frankenstein reenactment. The scaffolding comes down from the ceiling, and there's a guy laying on it, and of course, there's lightning and bolts. And in the meantime, there's actors going around, and I won't say what I do for a living, but I'll just say that I don't scare easily. This guy scared the Billy bejesus out of me just by talking to me. Because he had that Boris Karloff stare. I get that bug-eyed scare. If I take off my glasses, your eyes will bulge. Well, this guy, without the aid of glasses, had that stare going on. It was not blinking. It was looking right through you when he was talking. And goodness God, I tell you what, this guy gave me the creep. Not only that, but he was wearing a fez. Anybody wearing a fez creeps me out. But this guy, oh my goodness, creeped me out. And there was another actor going around, he had this British accent thing going on, trying to be, creepy and whatnot. So anyway, time for the bathroom, right? So we see the floor show, we kind of get halfway through. Well, you know what? The space was big. And I kind of wanted to take a walk around just to see the other paintings and all the other little animatronics, the skeletons that were playing musical instruments and whatnot.
The creepy dolls that would wait till you walked up on them and start opening their eyes and moving and talking to you, and yeah.
Well, when you had to go to the bathroom, right? And how this place passed fire code, I don't know, because it's dimly lit. You can barely see your way around and whatnot. But anyway, so you go to the back of the room where the bathrooms are, okay? And there's this archway, this I don't know what we'll call it, a brick, or it's made to look like brick archway. and the bathrooms are back there, but you can't see anything, right? And we kind of got the word beforehand that be careful when you go to the bathroom. But that's all they would say. Be careful. You go. So I'm kind of waiting for something to jump out at you as you're going back in this dark alleyway where.
Well, you had to actually push the wall open, huh?
It was like a secret passage. You had to go through a secret passage to go to the bathroom. But at the same time, we're kind of scared to go in there because you just didn't know what was the, what was the thing about going to. So I don't remember where we went to the bathroom, but we didn't go. We left and went somewhere else to go to the bathroom.
That we did.
But anyway, too. By the way,
they wouldn't let Charlie come in the bathroom with me to hold my hand because I was terrified.
Oh, the bar stools! Gotta tell you about the bar stools. The bar stools were cool. So we were seated at a regular table. In the far distance, they had a bar, and the bar stools, the unoccupied ones, would spin on their own. It was quite neat to watch. Ghosties lurking everywhere, or animatronics anyway. But by the way, there are free museums in New York City, and one that is actually really, really wonderful.
Have a safe 4th, Kevin, and have a good night.
Yes, Kevin, have a good night. Do have a safe 4th. But there is a free museum on 7th and 34th, I think. It's almost right across the street from Penn Station. And it's a free Harry Houdini museum. You can go through. It's not very big, but it's free. And you can see artifacts related to Harry Houdini. Very, very worthwhile. And again, not too many museums are free in New York.
Good luck detecting tomorrow, Kevin.
Yes, good luck. And I can't wait to see what you post up.
Now, Yorkshire, if we ever come to the other side of the pond, as you guys put it, I so want to come visit you at work.
Not in the professional way.
Yeah, not in the professional way. I want to come over there and just ghost hunt a little bit. But yeah, a 600-year-old hospital would be awesome. How many people has died in there? Not saying that you guys are bad doctors or anything, but every hospital has some type of ghost in it.
But anyway, ever since being to that restaurant, I've always had my mind of how I could properly do a haunted house. Actually have a Victorian home and redo it into a haunted house.
Okay, 606.
But.
And Willie, I wish I could sell hamburgers for 15 cents nowadays. At least 5. I think there'd be a few more than that. Tell you what.
But anyway, gang, I tell you what, back to the Oddity Museum. There's so much more different stuff I would do. Kind of lost that sense of drama, with the old Oddity Museum. That whole flair of P.T. Barnum, Robert Ripley, the original guy, not what they make him out to be now. We kind of lost that showmanship of nowadays. I think technology has kind of ruined it. But Tim Holmes, I sent you 3 emails. Okay, I'll check them out before I go to bed. Thanks, Tim. And if you ever want to read a book, again, we'll touch base on Harry Houdini. Harry Houdini, it's something like the first American hero, or something about Harry Houdini and Hero. I forget what the exact name of the book is. Houdini wasn't an excellent magician. He was an excellent showman. And the difference is he knew how to draw the audience. He knew how to publicize himself and the stuff he was about to do. The whole deal about having him locked into like the town jail and escaped from it was purely advertisement for the newspapers to advertise the show, to draw tickets and etc. And I tell you what, he was brilliant at it.
See you again, Yorkshire.
All right, Yorkshire, have a good night. Third shift, I tell you what, I did third shift for about 6 months. Couldn't handle it. Couldn't do it. Couldn't sleep during the day.
That sounded like a fair deal. Okay, what?
Bacon cheeseburger. Oh, yeah, Tim, exactly. Trying to think, he was 50-something when he died. And it's amazing his body held out that long. And, you know, we still have pretty good magicians nowadays. Years ago, years ago, I'm not going to remember the guy's name, unfortunately. Yes, I am. His name is Tim Robbins. If you ever catch him, he's yes, the guy who eats the light bulb, and fantastic show. He was the main guy in the show. The show was called Play Dead, and it was a small off-Broadway show. It was down in the village, and this show, Play Dead, would feature him eating the light bulb, and there was other stuff related to it. The show was actually written by Teller from Penn and Teller. And I tell you what, the tickets were $25 a piece, and I would have paid $100 to see the show. It was phenomenally well done. The first thing you see on this show is Tim Robbins and his light bulb trick. And while you're waiting for the show to begin, you're sitting in your seats, you're looking at the stage. There's only one light on the stage, and that's in this floor lamp with this light bulb in it. Light bulb's actually working. And you see Tim Robbins, you know, he addresses the audience, and he's just nonchalantly doing things as he's talking to the audience, and he unscrews this, and of course he's going, you know, because it's hot, you know, the light bulb's hot, and he unscrews it, and of course nobody knows what's this guy going to do. So he's kind of giving the audience, you know, warning that if you're squeamish, you better leave now, because it's only going to get worse from here. You know, and that kind of stuff. And before you know it, he looks at the light bulb and chomps down on it. And of course, you hear the crunch, and you hear through his microphone, you know, the crunch, crunch, crunch of the glass. If there's anything that makes the hair stand on the back of your neck,
that'll do it.
I tell you what. What wonderful, wonderful show! You can actually see little excerpts and blips of it on YouTube. But if they ever reincarnate that show, I will. Like I said, I would be willing to pay $100 a ticket to see the whole show again. It only gets better from there. There's one trick where basically he pours acid all over a guy in a vat and dumps them out. And of course, when he dumps them out, there's it's a member of the audience. The member of the audience is not there. It's just a skeleton that falls out. And a great trick. But really need to stop at Metro on the way back from work tomorrow. I had mornings when I had to nap in my truck before I could drive home, Sandy. Whew, I had those. I had car trips like that.
Yeah, there's been nights that I've worked late that I kind of napped a little bit in my car before I had to drive home too. When I used to work at a factory.
Houdini's grave is unkept and forgotten. Willie, if you're still here, I've always wanted to visit it.
He says they're supposed to restore it.
He's buried in Brooklyn, I believe, right? I forget. Tim, October the 31st. Yes, that's the death of Houdini. Isn't that kind of weird? Isn't that neat? Not neat. That's horrible.
606 says, like a good fiber cleanse.
But
Ow.
I was always surprised. Houdini's old home, which is in Harlem, it was actually sold, I think, either this year or the year before. And I forget how many millions of dollars with it. Houdini was obsessed. He was really, I guess he had to be in this business, but vaudevillian, etc. But he was kind of a control freak and actually had his whole entire house wired so he could listen to what was going on in the different rooms, especially if he was entertaining guests. That way he could kind of pop in and, with a great feat of mental telepathy or whatever, and can say, what was, being said or etc. Sleight of hand.
Okay.
Queens.
He says Queens. Canadian Relic Hunter says, saw that one guy on Johnny Carson eating the glass.
I tell you what, that just sets.
And AWR, stop giving it away.
You're just ruining the magic, AWR. Just
Exactly.
Say, we did go to Coney Island. We did see. Is it politically correct to say freak show? That's what it was. It was a freak show.
Yes, honey. It actually is politically correct to say freak show because that's what they advertise themselves as.
Okay, so we're not offending anybody.
Freak show.
And we saw a sword swallower, and we saw a lady being. Well, I guess she wasn't sawed in half. She had the sword stuck in the box, Yeah. And I forget who. There was a guy there who escaped from his straitjacket.
Yeah, and there was the girl that laid on the bed of nails, the ragdoll girl.
Yep. Now that was highly
sword swallower, fire swallower.
And it was highly entertaining. I don't remember it being all that expensive either.
It wasn't.
What ruined it was you go to Nathan's Hot Dogs. Of course, if you're in Coney Island, you have to go to Nathan's. It's kind of a rule. They will not let you out of Brooklyn if you don't stop at Nathan's Hot Dogs. Anyway, Nathan's Hot Dog was more expensive than going to see the show. I think for the two of us. 2 hot dogs, 2 drinks, 2 fries was well over $30.
Yeah.
Felt some kind of way about it afterwards. Before it was kind of like it was the thing, Afterwards it was like, no, we just paid $30 some odd for this thing. But yeah, we did it.
It was a special occasion, babe. It's not like we do it all the time, so.
I keep telling.
Political correctness is overrated. And woohoo, Kay, what? You finally got rain.
Willie, I have a phrase called politically indifferent, meaning you don't care. And that's more my thing rather than being politically correct. I'm politically indifferent. I don't care what, Anyway, but the Three Stooges ate glass before it was cool. They did a lot of things, though. Yeah.
AWR says I love Nathan's Hot Dogs. They're good, AWR. They're just really expensive.
Yeah, just don't try to buy them there at Coney Island because you'll have to take out a second mortgage.
Yeah. We could have always sold our firstborn.
We can still sell our firstborn.
And we could go get Nathan's Hot Dogs.
Well, we can buy anything. We just sell her.
I don't think we'd get enough to buy Nathan's Hot Dogs for that one. I'm so glad she doesn't watch this. Because if she watched it, she would know.
Hoosier Hillbilly. That's because they sponsor the eating contest every year. Gotta pay for it somehow. It always amazes me every year they have the Wing Bowl in Philadelphia of all these people who want to see how fast they can eat chicken wings. I'd be scared to death to choke to death on one.
Yeah, I agree, Willie.
I'm not a racist. I hate everyone. W.C. Fields. W.C. Fields. He was great in his own right. He was a talented vaudevillian. On YouTube, they do have clips of him juggling cigar boxes. I tell you, to be tanked, meaning be fairly well boozed, and to be able to juggle. I tell you what. Wow,
yes,
you're still on.
SWPA, we're still
Yes,
on.
Treasure Hunting SWPA. This is the afterglow. This is just the chit chat after having the live stream where we just kind of rant. No, we don't rant. So we go on, talk about melee teching, anything that kind of pops in your head. And we've got a wonderful group of people here who, people just like yourself will pop in and pop out, and it's just about whatever. He was brilliant. W.C. Fields, I tell you what. I would like to know whether it was just, I would like to know if he was as really tanked all the time as Hollywood portrayed him, or as he portrayed himself. Because with some things, it's an act. It's a persona that you build over time. Dean Martin wasn't as a lush as he portrayed himself to be, because he couldn't have timing if you're completely sauced. If you're lit, you can still have your timing. But if you're a lush, you can't have timing. I'm convinced of it. And with W.C. Fields, I don't know. But if you ever see his juggling act, again, you can see some of it won't have sound. It'll be silent. It's quite impressive.
AWR, they don't sell them in the Walmart here, but you can get them in a grocery store here.
Apple pies. We'll be right there, SWPA.
And they're still really expensive here.
Neither was Foster Brooks. Yeah, another guy who played the drunk really well, right? I tell you, we just don't have talent like we used to.
Hot apple pie moonshine for tomorrow. Yeah, apple pie moonshine is good, but yeah, we had a bad experience at our reception with apple pie moonshine and a child.
Yeah,
a legal adult, but he was young.
Oh, well, come on over. Oh, okay. Well, it will be there. Apple pie will be there.
Email Charlie your address. We will be there.
That pie would be for tonight if I was there. Or wait, it was My Little Chickadee or something like that. It was a movie with him and Mae West. I don't remember the name of the movie though. Way Out West? No. Nope, can't think of the name of it. You're in Philly? No, we are actually in South Jersey. Southern New Jersey.
We're about an hour away from Philly.
If we were any further south, we'd be in the Delaware Bay. Of course, if the tide is high enough, we would be in the Delaware Bay. Hoosier says, I will be traveling back home to be in the parade, then back to my house tomorrow night. No drinking for me. A parade. I tried real moonshine once and didn't like it. I'm with you, Treasure Hunting SWPA. I think I tried it once years ago. That was even back in my drinking era. And not that I overdrank, but back when I had more of a taste for it than I do now. Now I think it's just, I don't know. I don't have the knack for it anymore. But back then, when I would drink whiskey quite a bit, I tried the moonshine. And I don't know, it was kind of too much of a kick for me. One of my great-grandfathers did time for moonshining back in the day.
Well, Willie, did you happen to see our walking tour that we did of Commodore John Barry?
Which we'll be doing more after we get technology down. Technology and a new cellular carrier, because yeah, it was a learning experience. Audio, and what was the other thing I want to conquer? Audio and something else.
Audio, data, and steadiness.
Oh yeah,
Shaky
that's
cam.
right. Shaky cam. Audio and the stabilizer. Two things I could get done before we can do another live walking tour.
Go ahead and go back and watch it, Willie. It's a 4-part thing, but we actually touched on quite a bit of history in Philly. We actually started it out in Independence Square. So, yeah, check it out.
Coal mining and moonshine used to be the family business. Mississippi says, I quit drinking years ago. I did accidentally. I just lost the taste for it, and I don't know. I blame the kids. The kids, yeah, they may call at any second and say, I need you to do this. So, yeah, I don't know. Just never really lost the taste for it, never got really back into it. But, you know, some of the, I don't remember who it was, would tease me about the Boardwalk Empire thing. I always wanted to do a series of metal detecting hunts of known speakeasy spots. But not sure what would be found there. I'd be happy just finding the bottles. That would be kind of cool.
Mm.
But, because I tell you what, that was an interesting time in our nation's history. Prohibition and basically how to work around something that's illegal. And depending upon where you lived, I know New Jersey here, our seaside resort areas, they took kind of a blind eye to it. They knew what was going on, but they kind of looked the other way about it. Unless you had the protees, the actual feds, they minded. But as far as the local constables and etc., they just kind of, it was good for business. They didn't want to kill it. So, but yeah, and it was kind of like that with a lot of resort areas. My kids drive me to drink. All right, well, detective, hello.
We know that feeling, Will Detect.
Not all of them.
Okay, 4 out of 5.
Who's counting? No, but
Me.
I'd love to find a tavern to detect. I tell you what, SWPA, in your area, that would be some kind of awesome. Some of the old wagon trails and roads prior to our main, or shall we say, our infrastructure now, that would be really cool.
Well, Willie, check out some of Charlie's videos, because he does a lot on the history in New Jersey, too.
I've only been to Jersey once. You didn't miss nothing, no.
Well, where are you from, Willie?
Yeah, AWR, that's about the way we are. It's not like I quit, just don't.
Yeah, you just don't
can't spend money on something that don't make me feel bad the next day. Although I went to the movie theaters and saw movies, I had that same effect, you know. I spent money for a ticket and went and saw Stinker.
Yeah.
Do people still demand their money back? This might be old thinking, but if you go to the movies, right, and you see a stinker of a movie that was horrible or gosh awful, is there still people that would demand their money back? I know that used to be a thing back in the day. I don't know if anybody still does that or not. Willie, I hear that, sir. They have made things extremely complicated in this state, and yeah.
Yeah, we will be throwing candy to all 800 spectators. The other 100 are in the parade. Yeah, that shows what kind of town you're from, Hoosier.
Canadian Rock Hunters. I did AA meeting with my mom as a kid, so I don't drink much, but addicted to coffee and cigarettes. Addicted to coffee.
Willie's from outside of St. Louis.
Oh, so you're a Missouri guy, Willie. Well, welcome. Wait, that's the land of Jesse James, isn't it? 606. I'm eyeing an old wagon road in my county that was established by the state of Kentucky in the 1830s. I am jealous. You just don't know how jealous I am. That's one of my goals, probably for this upcoming fall. There's one wagon road that we still have in existence, and I even have a permission, a slip, a piece of paper from the state saying that I can do it, and walk that entire, not the entire, but the part of that wagon road that's protected with my metal detector. I'm excited about it. I haven't done it. Right now, it's very grassy and chiggers. Yeah. LOL, Charlie. No, they look at you like you're crazy. I get that a lot. No. The 1800s lug nuts. It's the show me state. St. Joe. I forget how I know St. Joe. I think I've been through St. Joe once.
I don't want to throw super balls at people.
St. Joe. I think the rail line goes through St. Joe. I'm trying to remember. Passenger rail goes through somewhere there in Missouri. I don't remember. I'll have to look it up again. But some point in my life I've been in St. Joe and I just don't remember. We have so many absentee landowners here. It's hard to figure out who owns the property. Yeah, that's for sure. That's with a lot of places everywhere. Mississippi, our town is having our 4th of July celebration Saturday. We'll probably shoot off a whole pack of fireworks. Hoosier says, "It'll be the guy shooting at you. He's the property owner." There's a guy who I do not associate just because of this reason. He'll trespass a melody detect. Don't do that, because I could wind up badly, whether by a law officer or by the guy coming at you that's a landowner with a gun. Yeah, just don't need that. Always do the norm, Don. There's plenty of places to go, and there's plenty of nice folks out there who will let you go. But how many in your town, KY? I couldn't begin to tell you how many people is in our small town. I bet you we don't break 300 though.
Not here, no. I don't know how many here though.
The whole county? That's a completely different story. Oh, humility. I saw Missouri. It is the land of humility. I thought it was humidity. I'm sorry. Either way, the second one's funny, but yeah. Now I will tell you what, Hoosier. I have accidentally trespassed and not realized it. I was on a farm, and this farm had a patch of woods. Now the farmer said that the woods was his. I didn't quite really get a detailed information. I don't know how to describe this, but I thought his patch of woods went like all the way back to a water source, and I found out eventually by the opposing landowner that no, it doesn't. And he wasn't mean or cruel or he just came out like, "What are you doing?" You know, like, "Oh, I'm metal detecting." You know, with smiles and everything else. Says, "Well, why here?" I'm like, "Well, because Farmer Joe said it was okay. You know, come out here." And he goes, "Yeah, you don't own this." I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "No." He goes, "So now that you're at that point, I always felt awkward. I didn't. I probably could have, because the guy was very nice. But yeah, he owned that, and at that point it was like, "Oh, do you mind if I just keep on going?" At that kind, it kind of takes the wind out of your sails, and I was like, "Oh, sorry, you know, I just." He goes, "Oh, that's okay," you know, and he actually gave me where the boundary markers were. But it was an accident. I probably could have asked him because he, like I said, he was a nice guy. It wasn't like he was, shotgunning, get off my land. It was kind of like he probably saw me enough there at the farm to realize who I was or what I was doing. So he probably actually wouldn't have minded, but kind of, I don't know, felt awkward at that point. Great stuff on that farm. You guys seen videos of stuff that came from that farm. Willie, we drove through St. Joe's, and my wife got out and said it was so hot. Why is it raining? St. Joe. Is St. Joe down the river from Hannibal? SWPA, are you a Penguin fan? I don't think there's any Pirates fans left, are there? The population for my entire county is 24,000. Holy cow, at 606. Well, at least it was cool about it. A farmer that owns 10,000 acres around here would cuss you up. I've always wondered how, like, some of the mineral rights work, like in Arizona, Utah, and in those kind of areas. Whether or not, if you have the mineral rights, can you legally go on people's stuff? I've always wondered that. I never really researched it. I was always curious. Willie says, no, Hannibal is by Kansas City. Not really anymore. Don't follow sports. Yeah, I gave it up years ago myself. I know how that is. Wow, K Watt's got an Uber? You're moving on up. Still a dry county, so it's about a 20-minute drive for alcohol.
If you trespass, it is a good idea not to post it.
I tell you what, K Watt, a wonderful city of Fort Worth. Cattle yards and all that good stuff. What a great history, sordid history, that Fort Worth has. And always wanted to research it. Always wanted to, I don't know what it's like today, but inside my head, it's still the 1870s and 1880s in Fort Worth. But I would like to study the history and actually go there and see what's left of Fort Worth, Texas. We don't have Uber. That's fancy right there. What's next? Cell phones. No more payphones, right? We have all cell phones. Oh, wow, Mississippi. I still have the mineral rights to the 1917 farmhouse that we sold. The house is haunted. Or wait a minute, Mississippi. In your area, would it be haunted? But, I tell you what. Alright, anyway, gang. Well, we are, let's see. We still got a little bit of time. Yeah, back in some time ago, I did an article about poker in the Old West. And, basically, I drew different correlations between Wyatt Earp and poker. And of course, I guess his main game as a dealer was Faro. But kind of took a look at Old West style poker and there were some wonderful, wonderful stories involving the game of poker and different saloons that he was associated with. To the point where at one poker game, believe it or not, the entire territory of New Mexico was on a poker table at one time. And of course, back then, if you couldn't match the bet, you lost the hand. Well, if you're going to bet the entire territory of New Mexico, yeah, you can't match that bet, and it's part of a bigger story. But I tell you what, gambling was quite different back in the Old West.
Hi again, Yorkshire.
Yorkshire, you're back!
Again.
Oh, what's the boss going to say? Oh, man. Yorkshire, you spend all night on YouTube. Do your job, mister. No, I'm kidding. Tell him this is educational. It's important. Most of the mineral rights were sold for pennies on the dollar during the early 1900s around here. That's why we have so many absentee landowners these days.
Canadian relic hunters is keeping track. It's Berkshire's third time. You win a piece of bacon.
So is he like the official attendance taker?
Yeah. Yorkshire.
Yeah, put him down on the list.
Boss.
Put the little check. Yorkshire is the boss. Okay.
You don't have anybody that's like in dire need of medical attention to you, Yorkshire.
Wait a minute, Yorkshire, I want to move to England. Does that mean I can have a job? No, I guess not. Wait, tell you what, we do have one bar. That's the place where all the trouble stems from.
Honey,
yes.
We'll move to Yorkshire and I could get a job just doing the ghost hunting thing in the hospital.
Old West style poker. If you lose a big pot, just pull out the 6-shooter. I tell you what, that sometimes didn't work. And I tell you what, Hoosier, there is a wonderful book that I was one of my sources for the article, and it has all those wonderful stories in it. And it talks about the different games like Chuck-a-Luck. You know, where you get the dice inside an hourglass-looking cage, and you would flip it upside down, and the dice would fall through to the other end, and you would bet on the outcome of those dice. And talks about Pharaoh, because I had no clue what Pharaoh was even. And I still only have a little grasp of what Pharaoh is. And of course, the early origins of poker. And it seems in the Old West they would play more stud than anything else. And besides, they had the time to play stud. And it was more of a gambling game than a card game. The skill was involved in how to bet and outbet your opponent versus what the cards actually were. Interesting time there. And also, one wonderful story about the poker was about the cards. And cards were rags. If you ever played cards with rags, if you know what I mean, the kind of the term for wrinkled, shredded pieces of that's about Old West cards were. They were rags. You were playing with rags. And of course, rags are easy to mark, and etc. The boss can do whatever he wants to. Oh, yeah.
Yorkshire says, I am the night shift supervisor for the theaters at the hospital. He also uses the hospital Wi-Fi. Way to go.
Okay, cool.
Free Wi-Fi is always a good thing.
That it is. We had an awesome bar, 606, but we have about 100 churches in this one town, and well, they threw a fit.
I think we have as many bars as we do churches around here.
We don't have a bar here, do we?
Here, no. But I mean, we got a lot of bars in the
other
area.
areas. Yeah.
Within our county, honey, think of how many
Oh
bars we
yeah,
have.
not in our town though. In town,
No,
I think we
in
have.
our town we don't have nothing. We have bait shops and marinas and a post office and yeah.
606. Are you sure you don't live in my county, K. Watt? Sounds very familiar. All right, gang. Well, we kind of ran long enough, and I just want to thank everybody for hanging around for the afterglow and hanging around for chat. And sure was a wonderful, wonderful time of talking with you all. And I tell you guys are great. But anyway, gang, we'll probably see it before next Tuesday. Our video coming up Monday, and I may pop in one day just to do a test on for the Skype thing. So who knows? Maybe I'll try and hit one of you folks up to go, hey, do me a favor, call me on Skype, see if this works. But anyway, gang, again, thank you all for chit-chatting, and hope you guys enjoyed the afterglow. And we'll catch everybody somewhere on the tube. So have a good night, all, and do be safe out there tomorrow. And Yorkshire, get to work, will you? No, I'm kidding. All right, gang, have a good night.